People think of the content as just over the airwaves, but we do so much more now. People think of the content as just over the airwaves, but we do so much more now. We're producing videos daily that we need scripts for. We produce concerts on a weekly basis that we need day logs for. If it wasn't for the help of the people at Valley Office System, our job would be near impossible to do. One of the things I love about Valley Office Systems is they're a joy to work with. Honestly, we are a 24-hour business. We rarely have an issue, but when we do, we let them know, and they're out here just as quickly as possible. Honestly, their service is second to none.
Here?
Okay. All right. On this. Oh, yeah.
On this thing.
Right.
You're not going to believe it.
I'm not going to believe what, Gina?
Susanna Hoffs.
Bengals.
Just take a wild guess how old she
63.
is. 63. No.
How old is she? I don't have any idea. No, and the reason I don't know, and the reason I don't really want to take a wild guess, is that I don't give a rat's ass how old Susanna Hoffs is.
You were never hot for Susanna Hoffs?
Not particularly.
I was hot for Susanna Hoffs.
Not particularly.
Really?
No.
She's 59.
They packaged her as being hot.
No, they have.
I disagree.
She is hot no
you go.
matter what.
There she is
then
and now.
Oh, yeah, she is hot.
Yeah, x96.com/live.
I was thinking of squishy
Belinda Carlisle.
Belinda Carlisle. That's who I was
Do
thinking
you love
of.
that I
Man,
know who
that's-
you were thinking
I don't
of?
know why. I
It's
don't
the
know
Go-Go's.
why.
That's a
yeah. Why
different-
was I thinking?
No.
Why was I thinking of Belinda Carlisle?
If you go to x96.com/live.
People think of the content as just over the airwaves, but we do so much more now. People think of the content as just over the airwaves, but we do so much more now. We're producing videos daily that we need scripts for. We produce concerts on a weekly basis that we need day logs for. If it wasn't for the help of the people at Valley Office System, our job would be near impossible to do. One of the things I love about Valley Office Systems is they're a joy to work with. Honestly, we are a 24-hour business. We rarely have an issue, but when we do, we let them know, and they're out here just as quickly as possible. Honestly, their service is second to none.
Here?
Okay. All right. On this. Oh, yeah.
On this thing.
Right.
You're not going to believe it.
I'm not going to believe what, Gina?
Susanna Hoffs.
Bengals.
Just take a wild guess how old she is.
63.
No.
How old is she? I don't have any idea. Nor, and the reason I don't know, and the reason I don't really want to take a wild guess is that I don't give a rat's ass. Talk a hole. Yeah. Put that in your lasagna hole, buddy. Maybe you should just be more creative with it.
Now, see, the first text I get here. You didn't finish on this day. What was it?
Yeah.
I thought we pretty thoroughly finished it.
Susanna Hoffs
Susanna
is
Hoffs
59.
is
Yeah, I
59.
thought it was pretty obvious what we were doing there.
Susanna Hoff's birthday today. She still looks good.
We were presenting it on a platter to you.
And she is hot. Why did I put Belinda Carlisle in my head?
Because it's a girl band.
Yeah, I guess. And they always tried to package Belinda Carlisle as being really hot.
I thought she was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, 877-602-9696. Check into the Radio from Hell show. And, help be part of the least popular feature we do. Mm-hmm. Now, Carrie and I went and did this the other day.
I wish you would have come with us. I wish you'd have been here.
I want to go back with you because I think I would have fun with you.
I mean, and I was telling everybody about it afterward.
Axe throwing.
Yes.
What? You're saying axe throwing? Mm-hmm. Social axe throwing. You can find out what it's like by going to the website, socialaxethrowing.com.
And make sure you put the E in there.
A-X-E, axe. So
it's exactly what it sounds
It's very
like.
primal.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is you're throwing axes at targets.
Yeah.
It's safe. That was my, and I think it's all of our first concern. You go in there and you say, well, how can you do this and have it be safe? It is safe. It's quite safe.
Now, you start out with the small camping axes. They're about 2 feet long, about almost 2 pounds each.
Yeah.
A little maybe less. And then you start with those, but at the end of the night, you get the big one.
Yeah, you
get
can.
The big axe.
They have the long handle axe that you can throw if you want. Now, all axe throwing has a lot of levels of play. You can just walk in. It's a party venue. You can just go in with yourself or a date, or there's somebody. Oh, that was us.
Oh, this is
That's
us.
doing it.
X96.com/live. You can see me throwing an axe.
There's video of us throwing axes at targets. There I am. Oh boy, I look great.
But women do it.
Yeah.
There are leagues you can join.
The coaches are women, both of them, at the one we went to. So there's one in Ogden, one in Salt Lake. Social axe throwing. Go to socialaxethrowing.com. The one in Ogden, it's 801-395-AXES. And in Salt Lake, 801-486-AXES. Book some time.
The Sundance Film Festival is back in Utah January 18th through the 28th with screenings in Park City, Salt Lake City, and the Sundance Mountain Resort.
Here's what Kerry Jackson is doing when he's not on the air.
Yes, Mr. Jackson, thank you for coming into my office. As the manager of this department store, it is my job to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And during the Christmas season, that's especially important. We hired you to be our store Santa on good recommendations from your radio station management. But frankly, we've had complaints from many of the parents about your performance as Santa. Now, how do you begin each visit with a child?
Well, first off, I have them shake my hand.
Shake your hand?
Yes, I'm the hand-shaking Santa.
You don't let the children sit on your lap?
No, the hand-shaking Santa wouldn't do that. And do you have any idea how germy little children are? You know what I really hate is that little kid smell. You know the smell I'm talking about.
I see. And then they tell you what they want for Christmas.
Well, after they've shaken my hand, I ask them to write an essay about how good or bad they've been during the year, and then they're asked to list what they want for Christmas. Now, that list is then submitted to one of my elves, and the essay is graded and placed in the Handshaking Santa essay box.
You have paper and pencils for them in Santa's castle?
No, the Handshaking Santa does not provide essay materials. If the children are unprepared, it's no concern of mine.
Uh-huh. Well, I think I've heard quite enough.
Well, fine. My break is just about over, and I still have to disinfect my fingernails and put on a fresh pair of gloves before I have to greet the little vermin again. It's Santa! Where's Santa? Get away from the Handshaking Santa, you dirty little children.
Oh my God. Miss Johnson, would you call the radio station we hired this Santa from? We need a replacement immediately.
Here's what Bill Allred is doing when he's not on the air.
Ho, 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 ho. Welcome to Santa's castle. Merry Christmas.
Santa, why are you lying on the floor?
I'm the leg wrestling Santa. Tell me what you want for Christmas.
Well, I want the white Power Ranger and the Nerf Ball Zuka.
All right then, Sonny. Lie down here right next to me. You do know how to leg wrestle, don't you?
Oh, yeah, Santa, but couldn't I just sit on your lap?
Oh, no. The leg wrestling Santa wouldn't do that. All right now, Sonny. If you beat me, then you'll get everything you asked for.
Okay.
If not, you'll get a lump of coal in your stocking. And an orange.
Oh.
Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Sorry, Sonny. You lose. Get him out of here, would you, my little helpers? Who'll be the next to challenge the leg wrestling Santa?
Why don't you leg wrestle me, Mr. Butthead, jolly old sucky claws?
Aren't you a little old to be leg wrestling Santa?
You're pretty tough with these kids. Let's see you take on someone your own size.
All right, then. You lie down right here. Good. But first, I have to take a leak. Can't leg wrestle on a full bladder, you know. Be right back.
On X96, call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Yeah.
Do that to check in.
Yeah, 877-602-9696. That's the number. No one has deigned to do that yet, so maybe this is the day we end the check-ins, the feature, because if nobody calls, well, at 877.
If nobody's checking in, then
877-602-96, then we don't do it.
Well, let's start the show. Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
We all have our priorities for starting the show.
Yeah.
And mine is, of course,
Oh, pouring your coffee?
Mill Creek coffee and spilling it on my papers.
Oh, no.
I just
your
spilled
work
my
papers?
Spilled my Mill Creek coffee on my work papers, but it's okay.
Do you need me to go get something?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I do, Gina.
A paper
it's
towel?
In Provo.
Or?
It's in Provo. Would you please? All right. There's official beginning of the program. The moon is 0.2% of full, a waxing crescent. I thought, all right, well, we will have a full moon on February 31st. The moon will rise today at 8:07 a.m., today being Wednesday. It's the 17th day of January in the year of our Lord 2018, and this is North America's most corporeal radio broadcast. It's radio from hell. Or maybe we're concupiscent, I'm not sure. Anyway, Radio from Hell, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Carrie Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show and lady in waiting is Richard Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation, producing video for the show. You can see us at x96.com/live. And Nick, your buddy, Nick, your pal, is here helping out as well. And, do we have a paper towel somewhere?
Well, I would have gone and got you one.
Was it too late?
Richie, paper towel?
Was it too late?
Dylan, somebody?
I mean, it's just a small, it's a small spill.
You shot down the paper towels.
I could have gone and come back.
You shot it down.
Well, can't you go and come back now?
Well, somebody else's.
Richie's lumbering his way toward
paper towels.
Sorry, it's by the way, it's National Ditch Your New Year's Resolution Day.
Oh, really?
Already?
Yeah.
17 days in?
It is also National Customer Service Day.
Huh.
So I think we need to service our customers.
Are there
Well,
any
if they
there?
call
There are.
877-602-9696.
All right.
There are, and we will start with Cement Dave.
Good morning, lords and lady in waiting.
Good morning,
Good
Dave.
morning.
Hello, Dave.
Dave, by the way, which do you think, Richie? Which do you think it should be? Shut your cake hole, shut your pie hole, or shut your some other kind of food hole?
Well, shut your cake hole to be convenient on the tongue, but shut your some other kind of food hole seems to be more the style.
Yeah, maybe you should just say, why don't you shut your some other kind of food hole?
How about just your hole?
People do say that.
Mm-hmm.
Shut your hole.
Yeah.
And in Ireland, they say gob. Shut your gob.
I like that.
Yeah. Hi, so what's up with you today, Cement Dave?
Oh, just on my way to work, passed a rollover up in Far West, just as I was getting on the freeway.
A rollover in Far West.
I have that.
Yeah.
I have that rollover crash northbound I-15 near 1900 North exit Far West. Right lane is blocked. Were you impeded by this, Cement Dave?
Nope, I was going on the other side of the freeway, going south.
Hope nobody's hurt. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, they did look like they were rushing around with the paramedics, but they did have an ambulance on the scene.
All right.
All right.
Well, have a good day at work, Dave.
You too, and shut your other kind of food hole.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
Just
Dave.
doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, it's
Thanks,
not.
Dave.
I don't think we ought to do that.
Yeah. Cheyenne is here.
Cheyenne.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys this morning?
All right.
Do you want to weigh in on what phrase you should use? Should you shut your cake hole, shut your pie hole, shut your hole, shut your gob? What do you think?
I always say shut your whining gob.
Shut your
That's
whine.
all I hear. Just shut your whining gob.
Your
Whining gob.
You've heard somebody has said that to you.
That's tough with
Today,
you.
I think.
Oh yeah,
That's tough.
my grandmother used to tell me that when I was a kid, and I'd start whining about something. She goes, "Oh my goodness, shut your whining gob."
I'll be gobsmacked.
With me.
I don't care for that one. There's two G's right next to each other, so it's kind of hard to.
Shut your gob is okay.
I like shut your gob.
Yeah.
I think she just wanted to enunciate that I was a whining child.
I
So
see.
she wanted to make sure I knew.
All
right.
What are you doing today, Cheyenne?
I am actually on my way home from an overnight route in Windover.
An overnight
So
route?
yeah, I drive semis for a living.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
kind of fun.
What's your CB handle?
You know, our company doesn't do CBs,
Oh.
but I know it's kind of a bummer. There was one time I did have a portable one in my truck, and there was an accident up in Wyoming, and it's kind of funny because you can sit there and hear the truckers bicker back and forth at each other.
I think every
And
trucker
they were-
should have a CB handle, whether you have a CB or not.
Did you have a handle when you had one, Cheyenne?
No, I didn't, but I had one that the guy was really, really loud, and they would just call him like the screeching urchin.
The
When
screeching
he would get on
urchin?
the air. Screeching urchin. I was like, good Lord of Moses.
Good Lord. Listen.
Good Lord of Moses.
Good Lord of Moses.
You hung out with your grandma a lot, I think.
Cheyenne has a lot of...
You know, she's got some great one-liners. So
Just
yeah.
one quick question. We'll let you go, Cheyenne. What are you hauling when you're trucking out to Wendover?
We haul groceries. We're an international company.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Cheyenne.
Thanks for checking in, and have a lovely day. Nice to meet you and talk to you.
Good day.
All right.
Good day.
Good.
Well, she'd sign off with a 10-10 on the side or something like that.
Dear Lord of Moses.
Mitch is here.
Mitch.
Good morning, lords and lady. How are you today?
Good. What do you want? You want to weigh in on shut your cake hole or shut your pie hole?
I just like shutting holes, or at least telling people to shut holes.
Yeah.
I just like
I like
So shut your hole.
I have
Yeah.
no. I have no bias.
I like digging holes and putting stuff in them.
For sure.
So, Mitch, what are you doing today?
Technical support and school all day.
Technical support and school.
Well, we better give a full effort if you're doing all of
Yes.
that today.
Oh yeah, I gotta trek back and forth. So I work and then I go to school and then I go back to work. So
Boy. All right. Well.
All right, Mitch.
Thanks for checking in and in your busy schedule.
thank you. You guys have a great day. You're
You too.
wonderful.
All right.
We're wonderful.
Wonderful.
We're wonderful. Lord of
Did
Moses.
I tell you you're wonderful? John, hello.
Lord of Moses, John, how are you?
Hey, this is John. Totally Ashley.
No, see, you need to sign in as totally Ashley.
Just don't say John anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I won't. It'll
When you
be
call
totally
in,
Ashley from here on.
You
Totally
are,
Ashley.
because
All right.
you are, John. Totally Ashley.
Totally Ashley.
Totally Ashley. What, you want to weigh in on shutting your hole?
So my wife says, shut your gaping maw.
Gaping maw.
Shut your
It's
gaping
a little,
maw.
little highfalutin there.
Kind of biblical almost,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, that's a good one. Shut
Yeah.
your gaping maw. But so you have one that you like? Is that
I don't really have one, no. Not myself.
just shut up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
All right.
There are lots
Thanks,
of,
totally, Ashley.
There are lots of euphemisms for asking people to shut up or telling zip it.
Well, most people should just be quiet.
Yeah, because my mother used to say, and I still don't understand what this is. When she said she would start to talk an adult talk with my dad or something, and then she'd go, "Oh, we can't talk about this now," and she'd look at me and say, "Little pitchers have big ears." Now I have no idea what that means.
No idea.
Shut your nasty little face.
I like that one.
All right.
Let's go to Boston.
Boston,
line 3.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Do you want to weigh in on the shut your hole thing?
Yeah, I'd like to have somebody shut their garbage sardine hole.
Garbage sardine
Shut
hole.
your garbage
It's a little
sardine hole.
complicated, I think.
Now, sardine hole is pretty good.
Yeah, I could just shorten it to that.
Yeah, that's just a reference to Bill's story about the garbage sardines.
Oh,
Eating-
yeah, the
eating
garbage
s-
sardine that you ate.
Eating sardines out of the
still
garbage
grosses
can
me
when I
out.
was a kid. Yeah. Shut your garbage hole was pretty good too.
Yeah, that's pretty
all right,
good.
All right, Boston.
All right.
Anything you want to add, or should we let you go?
I'm just looking forward to Black Panther and biding my time.
All right.
So,
All right.
We're working on
Have
getting
a
one
good
of the
morning.
stars of the movie to call in. I'm feeling pretty good about one of the top 3 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm not going
Ooh,
to
I'll
say
have to
who
listen.
because I don't want to jinx it, but it's coming.
All right,
All right.
Boston. Late.
See ya.
All right.
Bye-bye. Let's see. Nat from Asheville, North Carolina checking in. We are in a declared state of emergency over here. There is an entire inch of snow. Everyone has a snow day except me, so I need 100% from you.
Well, an inch of snow there is still more than we have. So.
Freezing cold and snow, and freezing cold temperatures in Texas along the Gulf Coast. It's just it's climate change.
Yeah, it'll be 50 here today.
Tim the tree guy, Seizure Monica, Jay's cousin Josh checking in, Laura the Alzheimer lady, Good Godfrey checking in, Cyclops, Owl the geek.
We still need to get Cyclops to call us or sometime explain how that name came about.
Kimberly here, tried calling from the train and again at the office. It's been a busy signal the whole damn time. Well, it's because this
It's
feature
the most popular.
is so unpopular. Anthony the Vault Guy. Let's see, Benno checking in. Huggy Bear. Well,
I feel like we're a full-strength friend of the program today.
Well, it seems like we ought to get at it.
Okay. Do you have traffic, Gene?
I do. There's a propane tanker that did what you're not supposed to do. Weaved through the crossing arms and then was hit by a freight train.
Whoa.
This is 5th South, 2500 West in Salt Lake. And it was a propane tank. It wasn't just any kind of truck.
5th South, 2500
It's blocking the road there. Westbound traffic being diverted onto DeLong Street down 9th South Indiana Avenue. Use 9th South as a main alternate for both directions, but my guess is that's going to be a problem for quite a while this morning. So avoid that. Weber County rollover crash. Cement Dave told us about this. Northbound I-15 and far west. The right lane is blocked at the moment. And that's traffic brought to you by... Save up to $15,000 off all remaining 2017 Chevy Silverado half-tons and Riverton Chevy. Go to rivertonchevy.com.
Well, here's the ultimate shut-up from Master Shake.
Shut up! You're so mouthy. All I see is lips moving. Stories that go nowhere. Will you please just keep eating your corn dog?
There you go.
It's his way of saying shut up.
That's right. Big boy news coming up. Also, things that must go. Stand by for that. Ranlife.com is the website.
Oh, yeah.
I have a 7-year-old, so
exactly.
Who's starting competition soccer.
Say goodbye to the rest of your weekends for the rest of your life.
That's what I'm saying. It all starts tomorrow. They have a tournament tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
They have a game at 11. No, they have a game at 2. They have a game at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Friday they have a game at 11, and we're going to be up at Snowbird. So somehow I have to get from Snowbird to. This is going to be. This is my life now.
I would suggest using your car. I think you would use your car.
Let me ask you a question. Was it his idea to play
yes.
soccer?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Because that's when you need to have the talk with him and say, look, okay, I understand you want to play soccer, but guess what? Mommy is saying goodbye to her weekends now because of this.
It's a huge commitment. It's expensive.
Here's what you do.
And it's a huge commitment.
I'm sure if you search around, you know how you have found a person to do almost everything for you. Rather than clean up the dog crap in your yard, you have found a person who will do that for you. Rather than deal with the lice problem yourself, you found the lice lady.
Yeah.
I'll bet you anything there is a person out there who will go to the soccer games for you.
But I like to go to
Then quit bitching about it.
No, I'm just saying it begins, and Carrie's absolutely right.
Yeah.
It is
This isn't just you playing soccer here. You need to know this, kid. This is about me taking you, transporting you, and the other two,
And it starts small when, they're 7, but pretty soon it's out-of-state tournaments.
Yeah.
Multiple times a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge...
Which is really kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Out-of-state tournaments, really?
Yep.
For 7-year-olds. Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's how people catch the bird flu. By close contact with birds or bird droppings. Some people have caught bird flu by cleaning or pluck. Did you pluck any birds
I
while
didn't
you were on
pluck
vacation?
anything.
There was no plucking going on in the
No.
trailer? I guess it is kind of close quarters, the kids can hear.
There's no plucking in the trailer.
Mom, what are you doing?
I'm plucking a chicken.
Your dad and I are plucking a chicken.
Keep plucking that chicken. Is that what they said?
Yeah,
Keep plucking that chicken.
It is also possible that some people were infected after swimming or bathing in water contaminated with the droppings of infected birds. And some, here it is. You've handled a fighting cock.
That's it.
That's
That's it.
You handled a fighting cock.
I have to admit, I've handled a fighting
You
cock.
handled a fighting cock. There have been a few cases where one infected person caught the bird flu virus from another person, but it never has happened. It does not happen by eating infected animals.
But I knew it was living amongst, it's not the mosquito bite, but it's living amongst them.
And it happens a lot in Egypt.
Our attorney Ed Brass says, sounds like your DNA dad is Marty Feldman because of your eye drooping and oozing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got another person who is saying, out-of-state tournaments? This is Gina's way of telling you that she'll be taking time off.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Not yet.
This is her way of telling us
This one
now.
is just here.
And then it'll get announced on a Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'll be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
And then she'll say, I told you that this would happen.
because her husband can't possibly take the time off to go to the out-of-state tournament.
No.
But you can. Because this job isn't.
He
as
has a real
important.
job.
Yeah, this isn't.
This isn't a real job.
No, not to you. It isn't. And certainly the way we treat
Why
you.
should it be?
No, we're going to create a rent-a-mom business. I think this is a great idea
Yeah.
here.
Barberi on X96.
All right, things that must go coming up in a moment, but first, big boy news and opinnuendo brought to you by...
Stop worrying about expensive repairs for your office printer. Run your business like the professionals do. Get a contract for superior service along with the highest quality printer from Valley Office Systems.
Giant fireball over Michigan. Visible from 6 states.
Mm-hmm.
And in Canada. People scared S-less.
Yep. Lots of video of it, too.
Yeah. There's some video of it that just shows a big flash. Then there's one that appears to show things kind of breaking up in the sky. The National Weather Service says that the most likely explanation, which means they don't really know, for an object that sent out illumination and a sonic boom throughout southwest Michigan, 5 other states and Canada on Tuesday night, was the breakup of a meteor. The American Meteor Society. I want to be a member of the American Meteor Society.
I think you have to be a scientist.
I don't think so.
Sinus?
Let's look into that. I bet you it's an amateur group. An amateur group. They collected at least 200 reports of the Inkadink, which for around a second was so bright it lit up parts of the Detroit sky like it was daytime. Gizmodo reader Dan McGee, this must be a Gizmodo report, send in the above footage of the meteor. What did we show some at x96.com/live?
I haven't seen it yet. I watched some this morning though. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, the one is on Gizmodo here. He has a camera that's motion triggered, and this was so powerful, so it set it off, and filmed it. He said, I was on the phone at the time. I saw the bright flash out of one of my windows, adding he initially thought that the noise could have been thunder snow. We've had that occasionally around here. It's a snowstorm, but you'll get thunder and lightning, which is kind of amazing. People. Lots
Don't
of
they
people
track
saw it.
meteors? Can't they?
No, some they do.
Well, didn't something land that they can go?
Maybe.
Or does it all burn up and?
Probably it can get kind of little particles, but they don't. There are so many meteors out there. They don't track them all. They can't track them all. They just appear.
I
Yes,
went to
Richard.
their website.
Whose?
And what
The Meteor
the American
Society?
Meteor Society.
I'm trying to, but it won't let me.
And what you are referencing, Gina, is a meteorite, and it says very explicitly on their website, they do not deal with meteorites.
Only meteors.
Meteors only.
That's the American Meteorite Society.
It's a different society.
Meteorites.
And Bill, $15 a year, I think, to be a part of
Yeah,
the
that's what I
American
figured. It's not a-
Meteor
it's not a
Society.
scientist group at all.
Well, do it.
Yeah.
And then put it on your resume.
Yeah,
And
a member.
Pie Council.
Impress
and-
people.
I'm on the Pie Council, the American Pie Council,
Sure.
and I can be a member of the American Meteor Society.
Your LinkedIn profile is immediately beefed
I
up.
will, I will do that. Yes?
I was just going to say, I wish that it were the Meteor, MEAT, the Meteor.
Oh, Meteor Society.
Society,
No,
but
that's
no, it's
something
not.
different
Yeah.
entirely. That's for kind of chubby guys. All right, so you want to? Oh, let me do this story, and then we'll talk about the horror house people.
Okay.
The National Park Service Advisory Board.
Can I be a member of that?
Sure, because there isn't anybody on it anymore.
Oh, really?
They all
Okay.
quit.
They quit. En masse. That means all of them quit. They said they had tried unsuccessfully to engage with Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke. 3/4 of the members, I guess not all of them, but 3/4 of the members of a federally chartered board advising the National Park Service abruptly quit Monday night out of frustration that Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke had refused to meet with them or even convene a single meeting last year.
In a year.
The resignation of 9 out of 12 National Park System Advisory Board members leaves the federal government without a functioning body to designate national historic or national landmarks. It also underscores the extent to which the federal advisory bodies have become marginalized under the Trump administration. In May of 2017, Zinke suspended all outside committees while his staff reviewed their composition and their work. Now, what are these? These are not government employees. These are citizens, people who are deemed to have some knowledge of these
Experts,
issues.
yeah.
They're not always experts, but it can even just be concerned citizens, and they get on these advisory boards and committees throughout government agencies. I believe they're probably unpaid, or if there is any pay, there might be a per diem if you have to convene in a city for a meeting. Maybe they pay you a little bit for that. But the purpose is citizen advisory to government officials. This is what we as citizens have kind of gathered and we think should happen with things. And it's a valuable, it's a good way to do things. It's a good because it is the government of the people. So these are the people, representatives of the people trying to advise them. And these people, these members, these advisory board members, they're not even talking to us. It doesn't care what we have to say.
There's a reason. He doesn't care what you have to say. He's got an agenda, and he's going forward.
So
it's a waste of your time to be part of it.
His agenda is to open up as much private or public land as he can to private interests.
Yep.
Horror house.
Okay, now I didn't read these stories.
Whew.
So
they're weirdos for sure. The
Yeah.
13 kids, of course, chained up in the house. We talked about it yesterday. It was a boner candidate yesterday. 13 siblings found starving and shackled inside their California house of horrors were made to march around in the middle of the night. Former neighbors told the local paper.
These were crazy people.
I thought they were maybe kind of like a cult, said a man named Mike.
I think they are.
Who lived across the road. Well, there is no evidence of that yet.
They're crazy religious people.
They're crazy. They would march the kids back and forth on the second story at night. The light would be on the whole time. They'd be marching back and forth past the window. And they would be marching the kids back and forth, said Mike, who wouldn't give his last name. Mike works at a hospital and said he'd often seen the Turpin, that's the last name of the family, the Turpin siblings being marched through the upstairs rooms between midnight and 3 p.m.
Oh, so through the house.
Yeah. Why did Mike not call the authorities? I'm not sure. Mike says he and his wife, Myrna, never saw anything that prompted them to call the authorities, even though they were marching the kids back and forth around from midnight to 3 a.m. But he still didn't think there was anything to call the authorities. Now, those kids... Oh, this is another thing. So this family declared bankruptcy. The parents declared bankruptcy, except the dad just fought like hell to keep one item, his muscle car. He wanted to keep his...
Had to have that. Huh?
Had to keep
Not
his
keep
car.
anything
No.
for his family or...
No. They listed $150,000 in assets and $240,000 in liabilities when they declared bankruptcy. They were drowning in bills, but David Turpin fought to keep his precious 2010 Ford Mustang. When the judge asked him how he was still making payments on the car, one of the 3 cars the family owned, he said, "We started using coupons and being more conservative in our spending. And that's how I'm making the payments on the car. I got to keep the muscle car." When they were arrested, the parents were arrested. Apparently the mother didn't say too much, except, "I don't understand why we're being arrested here."
What's the problem?
And then
here,
she would
right?
smirk at the police officers, and she spit on the floor several times.
Yeah, they're crazy.
And then the pictures of them at Disneyland. Oh, they loved Disneyland. They went on bizarre Disney vacations. The mom and dads of these starving kids took several trips to Disneyland, and there are pictures showing them at Disneyland with their kids, but mostly they're with just the 2 of them.
Well, did you see the weird video? They've gone to Vegas like 3 times to renew their vows.
No, I didn't
to
see
the same Elvis impersonator. There's videos of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So they're and the picture of the mom and the dad at Disneyland standing there, just God. Yeah. So
all right.
I don't think they're a cult. I think they're mentally ill.
Sports weather traffic.
So the USA Gymnastics, the physician, team doctor Larry Nassar, who's on trial for abusing many girls,
young gymnasts.
Now Michaela Maroney, you remember her? I'll do the face. You know that girl?
No, that looks like you doing a face. I don't know who you mean. Anyway,
Carrie knows what I'm talking about.
All over the internet.
Yeah. Anyway, she had a gag order placed on her, and they paid her out money and said, "Don't talk about this." $100,000 if she spoke out. And I loved Chrissy Teigen yesterday said, "I will pay the $100,000 so she can talk," which I thought was awesome. But apparently, the USA Gymnastics has said, "We're not going to hold her to that. If she wants to come testify, we'll."
Well, who paid her?
The USA Gymnastics.
Really?
Yeah. That doesn't seem...
Well, no. Why don't they arrest all of them?
Yeah.
Whoever's in charge of them.
Yeah.
That's like obstruction of justice or something?
Deeper, yeah.
All right.
The Jazz are, let's see, they're on the road. They play Sacramento tonight at 8 o'clock. That's sports. Your climate change report. Let's see, what was it? I saw our friend Chef Tom's in Atlanta. It's like 15 degrees there right now.
Really? Wow.
Here it's 50.
It's all normal.
Birds are chirping.
Nothing to see here.
You can wear shorts. Everything's fine.
I'm looking
Traffic.
at pictures of Michaela Maroney. She's lovely.
No, remember she came
famous
in second
smirk
place
picture.
and she's kind of smirking it. It's a meme.
Okay.
Crash northbound I-15 far west, 1800 north, vehicle on the side, off to the right shoulder. Now there's a road closure, 5th south, 25th west in Salt Lake. A freight train hit a propane tank.
That's not good.
Who tried to go around the arms that were down for the train. Stupid. Westbound traffic being diverted onto DeLong Street down to 9th South and Indiana Avenue. Use 9th South as the main alternate for both directions. Brought to you by National Auto Plaza. Who builds the best trucks? National Auto Plaza does. Accessories you haven't even thought of yet, all to take your adventure to a whole new level. National Auto Plaza.
A thing that must go sponsor.
Yes, LASIK at Hoops Vision. Now your resolution is easy. Ask about 24 months, 0 interest, and their See Clearly guarantee. Schedule your free LASIK consultation today, 877-30-LASIK, or go to hoopsvision.com.
Things that must must go on the radio. From Hell Show.
These are things that are bugging you, our dear, dear friends of the program. Things that you really, really think should get out of your life. Maybe if you send them to us and we read them on the radio, they will, in fact, must go. You can send your must goes to radiofromhell@x96.com. And please put must go in the subject line so we know where to file it. Gina.
Oh, you want me first?
Sure.
Okay. First one is something of mine. When you make an appointment, like a hair appointment or a doctor appointment or something, and you make the appointment and then they send you a text right away to confirm it.
Yeah.
Like immediately, like the second you make the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a week out, you get a message from them saying, you got an appointment coming up on this day. Are you still okay with that? Confirm here. And then the day before, 11 o'clock tomorrow, you have...
That doesn't make any sense.
But I feel like they almost want you to cancel. Like, are you sure you can come tomorrow at 11? Like they're...
Well, it doesn't make any sense to send you one immediately after you make the appointment.
Are you sure? You still want to come tomorrow at 11? Yeah, well, yeah. Do you want me to cancel? You keep asking like you've got something else going on. Let's see. This is from Lou.
Yeah.
It says, much love, bitchers.
Okay.
Things that must go. Women referring to their small children as littles. Yeah. They're your kids. Don't try to make it cute. I call mine my littles.
I don't like that either.
Let's see. This is from Josh. Josh had a bunch of driving stuff, and we try to stay away from driving stuff. Josh also says, popping your gum must go. I was at my daughter's preschool Christmas concert, and the father behind me was popping his gum the entire time. Not only was it extremely rude, but the cute sound of the Christmas songs being sung by preschoolers were consistently broken up by the obnoxious loud pop of this inconsiderate person's gum. Thanks for letting me listen, and sweet Jesus, I hope something changes soon. Let's see this from Please Don't Use My Name. People that panhandle with their kids, just hugging, stop it, stop it, stop it. It's cold. Take your 3-year-old home and warm him up and ask him to forgive you for being a hugging, horrible dad. Team building days at work must go.
They're my kids. I can do what I want.
My toddler's severe eczema must go. My toddler's severe allergies must go. And this soupy gray winter air must go. So much more, but I will pause so others can voice complaints. Thank you.
All right.
Gary?
Let's see this one from Jeremy. People that spit while using the urinal.
Gross.
Yeah. He wrote gross.
You
right.
see that? You see that at the gym quite a bit.
All right. Let's see this one from Dan. Let's see. I'm a long-time listener, first-time must-goer. I walk my dog every morning while listening to you, and here's my list of things that must go. He's got a whole bunch of like shoveling, and I got to skip because he put in so many. People who are too wimpy to sit in a cold car or truck that they have to let idle for 15 minutes in the morning. On my walks, I generally see large trucks, diesels, and gas vehicles that are spewing exhaust with no one around. And here I am walking with my inversion mask on so I don't die. And you're contributing to our crappy air because you don't want to be cold for 10 minutes. Another thing that must go is the Punisher logo. It's from the Marvel comics. The Punisher logo being co-opted by right-wing patriots as someone that we should be emulating to be patriotic. I keep seeing bumper stickers with the American flag made out of the Punisher logo. I have a hard time believing that the patriots who founded this country thought the best way to deal with crime would be to brutally kill people in the streets. Never forget the Punisher is not a hero.
Not a good guy.
He is a psychotic killer.
Yeah, not a good guy.
Finally, this. Now, I was going to get upset at this.
Oh, okay.
But Dan showed his cards at the end.
Okay.
Finally, this. Carrie saying a boner candidate has a 50-50 chance of winning boner of the day. Just because it is 1 out of 2 winners doesn't mean the odds are 50-50. We aren't drawing the name out of a hat. I'm sure the percentage can be calculated by looking at the previous round's votes, the strength of the candidate, and whether child abuse, animal abuse, or Trump are part of it. Saying 50-50 makes me think it's just the luck of the draw and it doesn't matter how I vote. Hashtag poke the bear. So I know he was trying to get a rise out of me.
Not going to work, huh?
This one from Dan. When our building's maintenance lady gets time off and she gets no replacement, our bathroom goes to hell, not getting restocked. I love air drying or wiping my wet hands on my jeans. And then he's got one that I don't want to read. And then one that's the coworker who enters the restroom while I am in the stall and stands directly outside of the stall, shoes visible.
Don't do that.
Under the door, waiting for his turn.
No.
Yeah.
Even if I have just sat down in the seat, he will stay no matter how long I am there. I've played on my phone for 20 minutes just to see if he will leave.
I've done that.
Nope, it's uncomfortable.
Yep.
You've done which part? Sat there and waited?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'll wait.
And finally, this one from Tony. I don't. My thing that must go is my friend getting angry at me for blocking her to build the longest road when playing Settlers of Catan. She gets so angry that she throws blueberries at me and shouts, "I'm going to hug you so hard." I bought those blueberries.
All right, this one from Cody. Hello, Lords and Lady. The thing that must go is the assumption that refusing to meet with Trump is always the best choice. It's been my experience in life that if I can make a bigger impact on someone if I actually talk to them.
Oh, people refusing to meet with Trump.
Yeah, that's the assumption that refusing to meet with Trump is always the best choice. It's been my experience that I can make a bigger impact on someone if I actually talk with them than if I never do. I believe not meeting with him just causes him to write you off as someone who doesn't matter. But if you meet with him, at least you have a small chance of making some sort of positive impact on him. Anyway, thanks for letting me listen and keep up the good work. Cody. This one is from Hello. I recently started listening regularly since I started my early morning job a few months ago, and I really appreciate the sarcastic, refreshing take on the news that you present. I do have one thing that must go, and I would like to hear your insight on this. I can't stand it when people on the radio, you all included, sorry, say the word financing. My ears shrivel when I hear financing, like dancing, instead of financing. Oxford Dictionary has 3 different pronunciations. Cambridge Dictionary says it's my way. So I don't understand why everyone on the radio in Utah seems to be married to this one pronunciation of financing. This must go for the sake of my ears. Thanks for letting me complain. If your producers or whatever makes radio forces you keep pronouncing financing incorrectly, I will put up with it. Just know that I'm out here cringing at those financing ads.
I say financing.
I would just ask this person how they pronounce insurance.
Insurance?
Is it insurance or is it insurance?
Or is it,
I think it's insurance.
It's insurance.
But
so it should be financing.
I like to say financing because it makes me sound fancy.
It's easier. Yeah. It's like I say Batman instead of Batman because Batman is easier.
Yes.
And then finally this one. This is kind of a sad one, but I'm going to do it to end the must-goes. Carrie, Bill, and Gina, some say Utah's liberal voice. I say Utah's voice of reason. Thank you. I've put my heart on the line a couple of times, berating the insurance industries or the insurance industries or the insurance industries and our ridiculous USA greatest healthcare system. But today, I curse the gods and cancer. What must go is the slow and painful and deliberate pain that cancer inflicts on a victim and a family. Thank goodness for hospice and the flood of pain medication and marijuana that they're willing to dispense when death is inevitable. The good from this is how much closer it has drawn us to children, family, and in-laws. I love you, my son, Nicholas, the man whose obituary we read on the air last week. He was a devoted geek to the end. He gives The Last Jedi a 4 out of 5. I've also grown to love his wife even more for the compassion and fidelity she has shown in seeing my son through this end of his life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. His life was good, and thank you, Radio from Hell.
Things that must go on the radio.
Crash eastbound SR 201 77th West on the right shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 and far west about 1800 north. The vehicle is on its side on the right shoulder. And a road closure. 5th south about 25th west in Salt Lake. A freight train hit a semi-tanker carrying propane who decided they were going to try to go around the arms that were down. And then it got hit by a train. Don't do that. Westbound traffic being diverted onto DeLong Street down to 9th South and Indiana Avenue. Use 9th South as a main alternate for both directions. Wreck your ride? I did. That's why my car's at Everest Collision. They're putting my needs on top right now. Go to everestcollision.com.
All right, we've got Boners Round 1 coming up. Here are your candidates.
Already?
Is it? Oh, no, it's not time yet, is it?
No, it's time to tell people about Mattress Firm.
I was trying to push the show ahead because I want to get back to bed.
Yes.
I had a hard time with getting out of my Mattress Firm mattress this morning.
Now, you say Mattress Firm mattress. That's not a brand. Mattress Firm has all different kinds of brands.
Yes.
That's where we bought it.
That's where we bought it. They carry several different lines of mattresses.
Because everyone's different. I didn't get the same mattress you guys got.
I wonder how many they carry.
I got a Beauty Rest Black Hybrid. You guys have the adjustable base mattress.
New year, new bed, and Mattress Firm's got you covered with their New Year sleep sale. It's going on right now. A great sleep for the mind and body. And if you want to get fit, a free Fitbit. It's one of those sleep and exercise trackers when you buy any mattress of $7.99 or more. $7.99 for a mattress, that's not unreasonable at all, is it?
Oh, it's a great deal.
They have financing. They
don't have financing?
No, they have financing. I'm sorry. It's impossible to not start 2018 off perfectly with Beauty Rest Queen mattresses starting at just $3.99, Hampton and Rhodes Queen mattresses at just $1.99, and you can get 0% financing for 5 years during their sleep sale. You want to find a Mattress Firm store? Easy. Go to mattressfirm.com.
We know that live music on the beach is a hell of a lot better than suffocating under the... So you saw this video a week or so ago about the guy strapped a GoPro to his dog to see what the dog did while he was at work.
I didn't see it.
It was disturbing because the dog didn't have a moment's rest. It was nervous and frightened.
In the house?
In the house, and
He's never coming back. He's never coming
it would hear noises outside and be on alert, you know, and it terrified me. Because I thought to myself about my dog, Ripley. I was just convinced because she can be a little high strung. And I was just convinced that.
I don't think she's big enough to strap a GoPro to. It'd be too heavy.
We did not do that. We did, however, a friend of ours gave us this drop cam.
What is it? What is that?
It's a live camera that we set up.
Like a nanny cam?
Like a nanny cam. In the living room.
Are you looking at her right now?
This is broadcasting live from my living room right now.
Now, does she just stay in your living room during the day, or can she roam around
Well,
the house?
that's what we wanted to know. Her favorite spot seems to be, we've set up a little kind of a table next to the window, and she likes to sit there and look out the window. So we watched her for a day. She didn't leave that spot.
Well, she's fine then. Don't you feel better?
She's sleeping.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, that's good.
She's a teenager.
Exactly.
She talking back to you?
I thought she'd at least be on guard or a little on alert.
Nah.
No. She barely moves.
A bomb can go off in the front yard.
And that's the other thing is that it has a motion sensor. So it'll alert me. Motion is detected, you know.
That never happens.
No.
She doesn't move.
She was a day. She was lying there.
Then she's perfectly comfortable. This should make you feel good.
Yes and no. She's kind of lazy. A little disappointed.
She's never going to amount to anything.
I think you ought to make her get a job.
Maybe. Require her to get a
little lazy dog.
Lazy dog. Maybe get her, a list of duties, chores.
Yeah.
You leave her list on the counter.
This has got to be done by the time I'm home.
She can put a little paw print next to the one she's completed.
But yeah, that video of the dog that was freaking out, it was disturbing to watch. Made me very upset. I was
Somebody in the chat room says that most dogs are like that. That guy's dog is just a neurotic mess.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my cat, who is a jerk when we're at home.
Jerk cat.
Mr. Fluffy Pants. I was sitting there yesterday. I was talking to my wife, and he came up and bit me on the arm for no reason. I'm just sitting there like, ow, what are you doing? And it wasn't hard, but just kind of went "Eek," and bit me on the arm. I'm certain that cat just sleeps all day, and then when we get home, goes crazy.
Well, it's because you're in its house.
Yeah.
When you get there.
Yeah. He just sleeps all day.
Do you think he's like a reincarnated dead person from somebody that hated you? And they're back to haunt you.
No.
No. You don't think so?
No. No, I
He's
don't.
biting you for no reason.
No,
Maybe it's
I
a
don't.
reason from a past life.
No, I don't.
No?
No.
I don't think that.
I think the
No, I think he's a curse from God. God sent the cat to torment.
Officially.
No, he's just a rambunctious teenager who, when he bites me, I give him a little cuff up the side of the head,
Hey.
and he stops. I go, don't
Can't
do that.
On Twitter at RFHGina. Radio from Hell on X96.
7:05.
Radio
Oh,
from Hell.
Whoa. Hey.
We got plenty.
Jeez,
All
buddy.
right? We don't need more than we need.
All right, so we don't need more than we need.
That's right.
So I borrowed some wine. Well, not borrowed some wine. I went to the Gina Barberi wine store, liquor store.
We're open on holidays and Sundays.
Yeah.
We have very flexible hours.
I needed to get some wine for my book club because I was short a bottle. So
And it was Monday.
and it was Martin Luther King Day, and so I went and I had a bottle of red, kind of like a Cabernet sort of, and so Gina had sitting out there a Cabernet, I think, and a Merlot.
Bill said, do you have any wine I can come get? And I made it like a store. I put a little display of some different kinds on my counter.
It was very, very nice. It was very nice of you to do it, and I decided to choose the rosé, the I've got it right here, Saint Supéré Rosé 2016. I took the rosé, and it was well received. I tasted it, and I'm not a big rosé fan, but it was good. So the way we do this is I need to replace either the identical bottle or something similar, and so I did. I got you
because I said actually don't Bring me something different, because I'd like to try something different.
So I brought you a Domaine Saint Michel Brut Rosé Champagne. It's a sparkling rosé.
Okay.
And it's got a kind of a nice label.
That looks like we should save it for a special occasion.
Yeah. Well, it's probably about. So I priced them. I didn't know how much yours would cost, and I was just sitting here pricing them.
Uh-huh.
Your bottle of wine was $16 just on a website here.
Yeah.
And on the other website, this is only $13. So I owe you $3.
No, that's all right.
No, I really insist.
No,
I'll either give you $3.
I don't want your $3.
I'll give you $3, or I'm going to go buy you some liquor that costs $3.
I don't want any liquor that costs $3.
So you probably should put this in the refrigerator. Although it wasn't.
I got to say, you're taking a big chance there, because you took a red and gave back a champagne. A sparkling.
I took a rosé, and this is a sparkling.
You're taking a chance on maybe someone doesn't like a sparkling,
Oh, everybody likes a sparkling wine on occasion.
In your house, there's no sparkling?
Oh no, Sue's all about the sparkling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not me.
You hate the sparkling.
It's not that I hate it. I don't.
But I figure
I don't want to drink it.
See, I also.
It's not that I hate it. I just don't.
I'm not a big sparkling wine lover myself. I'll have a glass of champagne occasionally.
I can't drink more than one glass of it.
I can't eat it because
something...
you know why? The bubbles make me burp.
That's exactly it. It fills you up and makes you burp.
Makes me burp.
It just I'm not interested.
So
it's a pretty bottle.
Yeah, and it's I think it's probably fine.
This is one of those things where it's good to have on hand in case there's something to celebrate.
No, wait. It says here. Yeah, it says it's the Saint Michel Brut Rosé, aromas of ripe strawberry with hints of apple and citrus. The initial impression is lively.
Well, my initial impression.
Yet dry, with subtle spice and berry flavors, followed by an elegant, delicately sweet finish. Now, let's see what it says about your wine. Yours, the one I borrowed, was, it is a, get out of here. I don't want to chat with you on a wine website.
Would you like to talk about wine?
May we help you? No, I live in Utah. You may not.
You can't help me.
This is a bright and crisp rosé with aromas of
raspberries,
pomegranate, and rose petals. Flavors of strawberry and watermelon dominate with a touch of raspberry cordial. The vibrant finish has a good mouth feel. You always want a good mouth feel.
Well,
I do.
In all things, as far as I'm concerned.
In your pie hole? You want a good pie hole feel?
Yeah,
do not have a pie hole.
Get over here and feel my mouth. I need a good mouth feel. I think Aziz Ansari did a little bit of that, didn't he? And it is full of life, your wine is. Pair this wine with watermelon feta and mint bruschetta. You'd never eat that.
Yeah.
No, feta.
Well, not the feta part. Yeah.
Fresh tomato and basil bruschetta. You'd eat that. Or strawberry and chèvre. You wouldn't eat that.
No. Speaking of my liquor store in my house, you know what I still have that we have not shared?
Pappy.
The Pappy Van Winkle.
Well, we haven't had a reason to celebrate.
But I am just glad that I am the one that's in charge of it, because if it had been at your house,
it'd be gone.
It would have been long gone.
Sure. Oh, that one I might have, because it's
no,
hard
you would
to
have
get.
had one of those holidays or Sundays where nothing was in the house.
It's hard,
and you would have dipped into it.
But it's hard. You know what I would have done then? I would have filled it with caramel-colored water. tried to fool you.
So
I don't know. I guess it just went bad.
We need something to celebrate, because I still have it in my
I'll tell you, I'm
liquor
gonna
cabinet.
So I'm going starting Monday. I'm going to try this. They call it dry Vanuary, but there's this whole thing where you don't drink at all for the month of January to start the new year. Just kind of clean out your system.
Up.
And they say that and they say you'll go back to drinking probably, but you'll maybe drink a little less. You feel better. It's just and I didn't start it at the first of the year, but I'm going to start it on Monday.
Why don't you just start it today? Why Monday?
Because I still have liquor in the house.
Can't you just have liquor in the house and not drink it?
It doesn't go bad.
Maybe. I don't know.
You have to empty yourself out, and then you will.
Well, I just I want a starting point, and to me Wednesday is not a starting point of anything. Wednesday is a, like, let's just make it through the week day. Monday is a starting point.
Okay.
So really, Sunday is a starting point.
Well, yeah, but it's the end of the week.
That's still the weekend.
Still the weekend.
Your week starts on Monday, not
Yeah.
on Sunday.
I mean, officially the starting of the week is on Sunday, but my week starts on Monday. So Monday the 22nd for 31 days.
So not just to the end of January.
31 days what?
I will not have any alcohol.
At all?
At all. So I suggest, if I can make it, that we have some Pappy Van Winkle at the end of that.
Okay.
Would you mind celebrating my 31 days of sobriety?
Sure.
That'd be okay? All right.
Okay. I want updates.
Yeah, there's a whole...
We're going to hold you accountable now.
Okay,
Now that
I
you have
know.
brought this up to us,
I know.
We're gonna hold you accountable.
I know. I know. I usually keep these things kind of to myself, and then I never follow through.
Yeah.
But now...
Crash in Davis County, 1500 South Redwood Road in Woods Cross. Crash eastbound SR 201 77 West on the right shoulder. And I haven't heard an update yet, but I assume this is still an issue. 5th South, 25th West in Salt Lake. A freight train hit a semi-tanker. Tried to go around the arms that were down, and you shouldn't do that. Use 9th South as an alternate for both directions. If anybody's in that area and can let me know if that's still an issue, I would appreciate it. Text it to us, 33986.
All right, boners now coming up. Here are your boner candidates. Boner candidate number 1, pizza for parking. Boner candidate number 2, that, by the way, pizza for parking, that's a neighborhood boner candidate.
Oh.
Right here in our neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah. Boner candidate number 2, couple of beers in the morning helps steady my hand. And boner candidate number 3, what color are Norwegians?
All right. All of those coming up. Round 1, boner voting. Stand by for that. Happens right after these, along with Big Boy News and a Pinuendo. Black Velvet Boutique.
You know, normal people
Yeah.
want to go shop for sexual wellness items.
They do.
It's not just weird porn people, normal people. Black Velvet Boutique is a store that you should not feel embarrassed to walk into. Nice staff, locally owned. They're there to answer questions if you have them, talk honestly about sex. Now, you can shop anonymously, not talk to anybody if you're not comfortable with that. But they want you to know, come in. It's perfectly normal to come in and talk about things. They're supportive. They want to make sure their customers have a positive experience, judgment-free shopping environment, all-inclusive. It's open 7 days a week, 293 South State Street in Clearfield. They do have a website, too, blackvelvetboutique.com. But just go in there. Sex isn't a joke, and this isn't a novelty store or a porn store. It's a sexual wellness resource for grown-ups. Black Velvet Boutique.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you... Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
Now, let's see. Someone in the chat room had a comment about your not drinking for, was it 31 days?
31 days.
Lionel says, I plan to not drink until the end of work today and stand of solidarity with you.
Way to go,
So
Lionel.
there you go.
Thanks, Lionel. I appreciate the support.
7:21, time for round one of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote which of these 3 candidates is the worst. Which of these 3 deserve to go forward to Boner Dome for Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. It's got a 50-50 chance if it wins here. It goes up against the candidate that wins in round 2. Round 2 happens at 8:20. Boner Fight at 9:20. 2 candidates now, then a third candidate after the big boy news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
I can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt, courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
All right, we have boner candidate number 1, which is pizza for parking. Right here in our neighborhood. Documents obtained by Channel 2 News mention a scheme that allegedly involved at least 4 members of the compliance officers' bike team. The compliance officers who go around giving tickets on bicycles.
See them all the time out here.
The documents describe the nature of the scheme as a free pizza arrangement. Matthew Rojas, a spokesman for Mayor Jackie Biskupski, confirmed that 4 code enforcement officers were fired last month. 3 are appealing the dismissal. He said that the city would not make additional comment pending the outcome of those appeals. The city learned of the alleged pizza for parking deal on August 24 and has since found an unusual pattern of both voided tickets and non-ticketing for Cecilia Kitchen, Pizza Kitchen owner and employees, right over here.
Yeah, it's right across the street.
Yeah. Who parked near the restaurant on 35 West 3rd South, or Broadway, according to a letter from the city's Public Services Department. As per the arrangement, the employees who parked at meters for work would put a Cecilia Pizza menu in on their dashboard.
A little signal.
So the code enforcement officers, who are not cops, would know not to leave tickets on those cars.
So it was employees trying to park. Okay.
Not trying to park. They did park. They allegedly they left the menu on the dashboard, and then
they'd get
the cops, the enforcement officers, the code enforcement officers, would go in and get free slices.
You know, I always saw them over there every time I'd go over to Takashi.
Yeah.
And now that you mention it, I don't see them.
The restaurant owner, the Cecilia Pizza Kitchen restaurant owner, with the fine Sicilian name of Amrol Harara, met with city officials, city staff to complain about 2 parking tickets he'd received during the span when Clegg and other officers were on paid administrative leave. Harara told staffers that he shouldn't be receiving citations. I'm not supposed to be getting tickets.
So they never would have known?
In a follow-up phone call with Public Services Director Lisa Schaefer, recounted by Schaefer in an email, Harara emphatically stated that the meters were expired when he received a citation, but that he shouldn't have received a ticket because he had developed a relationship with enforcement officers.
So he outed himself.
He told investigators that bike team employees received 10% discount on food.
We had an arrangement and you ruined it.
Man. Boner candidate number 1, pizza for parking. Boner candidate number 2, a couple of beers in the morning. They help steady my hand. A Kentucky plastic surgeon was arrested Monday after allegedly showing up drunk to perform plastic surgery. Dr. Theodore Gerstle of Lexington Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery was scheduled to operate around noon on Monday at the Baptist Health Lexington Hospital, but staff at the hospital were alerted that the physician was drunk. Hospital spokesperson Ruth Ann Childers told the Lexington Herald. Dr. Gerstle left the hospital voluntarily and on foot after the chief medical officer confronted him. Hospital staff then reportedly called the cops. He was arrested a short time later when he was located not far from the hospital. The surgeon was scheduled for one procedure on Monday and had not started operating when he was confronted about his alleged drunken state. Patient safety is always our number one concern every day, said spokesperson Childers. We take these things very seriously. It will be thoroughly investigated. You're wondering, of course, what surgery was he going to perform? Dr. Childers was charged with public intoxication. According to the Surgical Practices website, Dr. Gerstle is from New York. He is a Harvard-trained, board-certified plastic surgeon, the only Harvard-trained, board-certified plastic surgeon in Lexington. It is unclear what type of surgery he was scheduled to perform. However, the website states that he specializes in migraine headaches.
Ooh.
And performs a variety of plastic surgery procedures in an attempt to help migraine headaches.
Like I know they do Botox for migraines sometimes, but I don't know what surgery they do.
Boner candidate number 2. Well, a couple of beers in the morning, they just help steady my hand. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Apparently you guys haven't heard this one. What color are Norwegians? This will stun you.
All right.
All right.
Oh, no, I know, yeah.
You do know what it is?
I just remembered what it was. All right, big boy news and opinion window now, brought to you by...
Try the Buck and Under menu at Del Taco for the most fresh choices for $1 or less, like 69-cent mini quesadillas, 89-cent burritos, and the new $1 salsa chicken taco.
Gina, here's a story for you. The daughter of a man whose body was found inside of a Colorado home encased in concrete has been charged with first-degree murder. Dana Jennings was arrested Wednesday in the death of her father, William Mussuk, whose remains were found inside of a home in the 1000 block of Elliott Circle in Federal Heights. Court documents say his body was found in a crawl space encased in concrete. And Jennings admitted to pouring that concrete.
Was she collecting his Social Security or what? What was the motive here?
She's been charged with first-degree murder. Family members believe that Mr. Mussuk was drugged because of a prior incident where he was found unconscious after taking a bite out of a hamburger.
Oh, so she tried it some other time.
Yeah. Family and friends have been searching for Mr. Mussuk for a couple of weeks when he went missing. Federal Heights Police Department said Jennings, the daughter, and Mr. Mussuk shared a house together. Ms. Jennings' boyfriend also lives in the house. They are not saying when the suspect killed Mr. Mussuk, and they are not listing a motive, but I'm sure it was for some sort of money.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was just a horrible old man.
Could be.
Murder. Yeah. Juab County officials are now strongly suspecting foul play in connection with 2 teens who were reported missing January 2nd. The couple, 18-year-old Riley Powell and 17-year-old Brelyn Breezy Otteson, left Tooele at about 9:30 in the morning on December 30th. They had planned to head to Eureka, where they share a home, family members said. But the kids, the two teenagers, never arrived at that home. The Jeep they were riding in was located Thursday in a remote location.
But not there. It looks like it was dumped. Like this doesn't look like they drove it there and got out.
That's why they're saying.
Yeah, they said it looks like someone was hiding it.
Foul play is strongly suggested. They think that the Jeep was intentionally abandoned by somebody other than them, the 2 kids. Ms. Otteson's aunt, Amanda Hunt, was very emotional on Tuesday when asked for the family reaction to news that foul play is now suspected, because they had thought it's apparently the boy, the kid Riley, has survival skills. He knows a lot about, and they thought, well, maybe they just took off into the wilderness to camp or to disappear for some reason.
And they're thinking, no, that's not.
Now they think that somebody else was involved and it was foul play. Who knows? I keep, whenever stories like this come up with missing people, I think of our former intern, whose name I don't remember right now.
Sneaky Brad,
but I don't remember his Brad. went missing down in near Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Last seen on some surveillance camera in a neighborhood, getting out of his car and walking away from the car, has never been seen again.
It's been years.
And that remember that young Hispanic woman in Utah County?
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking about her every time for some reason these come up. Went missing. Still missing as far as I know. Nothing has ever come up. It's astonishing to me how these things can happen. But then I think I saw a headline. I don't remember the number, but it was in the 200 women in Chicago have been smothered over a period of years, and
no idea.
Really, why is this happening? Who's doing it? Don't know. Is someone doing it? It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Senator Orrin Hatch.
Yes.
His invisible glasses.
These are very special. They're like from the makers of Google Glass.
How this could have happened?
I think he's when he retires, he's going to be a mime, and he's
practicing.
And he's practicing.
So if you haven't seen it, there is a little 2-second video, and it keeps repeating over and over. But it's him apparently taking off a pair of glasses, but he's not wearing glasses.
He thinks
makes
he's
the
wearing
motion
glasses.
of taking off some glasses and setting them down as he's reading something. And I keep thinking to myself, how is this possible? Was he really doing something else and it's just because of the editing? Well, his staff says he is used to wearing reading glasses when he's going over documents. And like sometimes when he's in committee meetings and speaking, he'll be reading through documents, and he usually has on reading glasses. That day, he did not have on his reading glasses, but he's so accustomed to the motion of reading and then taking them off.
But you would think you'd reach up for them and then realize they're not there and not continue the motion.
No, he just sort of went
yeah,
on.
the motion is like he removed them. That's the thing.
You could see it going up and going, oh, that's...
Because I remember after I stopped wearing glasses, I occasionally would do this. I do the push-up, you know.
Yeah.
But he follows through with the removal.
Pulls them all the way down.
He is miming the removal.
The sister of the mother who was arrested in the case of the 13 kids being shackled in California, the sister of her says she feels guilty because she should have known about this. She was never invited to see the kids, and she says something always seemed not quite right, but I didn't investigate it. The aunt of the kids says that she was banned from talking to the children. She was cut out of her sister's life, and she admitted things didn't seem right. Elizabeth Jane Flores is her name. She said there was something strange about the kids' upbringing, and their mother refused to see her or even speak to her over Facebook. David and Louise Turpin were arrested and charged with torture and child endangerment after one of their 13 kids, a 17-year-old, a girl who looked like she was 10, escaped through a window and called police. Ms. Flores, sister of the arrested mother, Louise, broke her silence on the strange home life. She told the Daily Mail, something didn't seem right about her parenting, but never would I have expected it to be like this. We have been so worried about them because it's been strange, but there was nothing we could do. They wouldn't let anyone visit. We didn't know their address. I haven't seen her in 19 years. By the way, Ms. Flores, the sister, is a Christian motivational speaker who has published books claiming she was sexually abused by a family member.
See, I'm still going with cult.
She said that she wouldn't even accept my Facebook request. We all wondered what was going on. The kids, by the way, have been, of course, taken into hospital care. And the doctors say that they're like their 29-year-old looks like a small child because of failure to thrive. They've been starved for a long period of time, and they're giving them food now, but they have to do it slowly.
Yeah, you
can't just let them say, here's a bucket of chicken, go for it. You know, you can't. You got to ease them into it.
Our good friend Mary Nichols,
yes,
over at Channel 2. She's just posted, she said, looks like people are being evacuated from the 222 building on Main Street. We don't know what's going on there now.
That's 222 South Main Street.
That's just right here. But she's got video of a bunch of emergency vehicles and people standing out on the street.
Well, it could likely be the same kind of thing that we've done here on occasion.
But
is there a fire or isn't there?
I don't know. So if anybody knows anything, you could... text it to us, 33986.
Usually in those situations, Carrie and I remain at our desks.
Yeah, we just sit there.
Yeah, go.
Alarms
You
going
want to
off.
burn up in a fire?
No, not particularly. I just don't believe that there's a fire.
I just like excuses to leave.
Gina, you don't need an excuse.
I know,
You
but
just
it's even
leave.
better if there's an excuse.
All right, coming up in our next news, we'll tell you why you should never hold in a sneeze.
All right. Weather, traffic?
Climate change.
Climate change update and traffic. The climate change update is nice and warm, like you like it in January with our new climate we have here in Utah. It's flip flop weather. The bees are out, the birds are singing. 50 degrees for a high today.
It's lovely. I'm going to push for see if we can get an ocean here.
Yeah.
We need beaches.
Picnic. Let's go for a picnic today. Eastbound crash on SR 73 is slowing things down for commuters in Eagle Mountain area approaching Saratoga Springs. 2 lanes are down to 1 because of that accident. Crash northbound I-15 123rd south with 2 left lanes closed there. Crash in Davis County 15th south of Redwood Road and Woods Cross. And still people dealing with that road closure. 5th south, 25th west in Salt Lake. A freight train hit a semi-tanker who tried to go around the crossing arms that were down. Use 9th South as an alternate there. That's traffic.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. What color are Norwegians? The Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Kirstjen Nielsen. That's a Nordic name, isn't it?
Yep, she's as blonde and white as she could be.
Had the misfortune to appear at a Senate hearing in the immediate aftermath of the furor over a reported racist remark by President Trump at a meeting that she attended. She was in the meeting, so she was called to this committee. Ms. Nielsen's strategy was to deny everything. Nielsen told senators that she had no recollection one way or another as to whether Trump had disparaged the population of an entire continent by calling Haiti and Africa assholes. There was a lot of rough language by a lot of people in the room, she said. What I was struck with, frankly, as I'm sure you were as well, was the general profanity that was used in the room by almost everyone.
Wasn't just the president.
So basically, the meeting, it was like a scene. She described it as like a scene from Deadwood. You know, it's like
everyone was swearing.
The saloon in Deadwood. There were a lot of really bad words, but it might have been Trump making generalizations about black people. Might have been just Al Swearingen. Nobody can say who was there. Nielsen did concede that Donald Trump had some nice things to say about Norway and its prospective immigrants to the United States. And Senator Patrick Leahy said to Ms. Nielsen, who is the head of the Department of Homeland Security, the 3rd largest department in the federal government.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Leahy said to her, Norway is a predominantly white country, isn't it? Ms. Nielsen said, I actually don't know that, sir.
All right.
I don't know that
It's not
Norway.
one of those things that's common
I don't
knowledge
know
that
whether
you
Norway
don't need to look into that.
is a predominantly white country, sir. I don't. The head of the Department of Homeland Security. Don't know. I don't know. Is it?
Norway.
Norway.
Now, she's the one that got the tongue lashing from Cory Booker, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Cory Booker laced into her for,
man.
what do you mean you don't recall? That's nonsense.
You're a liar.
Cory Booker went after her. You're a liar,
Yeah.
Boner candidate number 3. What color are Norwegians?
All right. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
We had boner candidate, that's an appointee by the Trump administration.
Yes.
And she had to go through a Senate confirmation hearing, and she still got the job.
Yeah.
Boner candidate number 1, pizza for parking. It's a parking code enforcement officers right here on Broadway mainly, apparently getting free parking along Broadway, along 3rd South, because or giving free parking to the employees of the Sicilian Pizza Kitchen. Yeah, good. Bribed with food from the Pizza Kitchen. Boner candidate number 2, a couple of beers in the morning helps steady my hand. That's a plastic surgeon in Lexington, Kentucky, showing up to operate when he was drunk. And boner candidate number 3, what color are Norwegians?
All right, here we go. This is round 1 of your boner voting. You've got to decide which one of these 3 candidates is the worst, which one of these is the most qualified to go to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it's got a 50-50 chance. Goes up against winner of round 2. At 8:20 is when we decide round 2. Boner fight at 9:20. All right, so round 1, here we go. 1, 2, or 3. You pick the candidate you think should win. Remember your candidate number, put it in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice. Looks like Nick's taking votes. Or you can go to x96.com and look for the box that says Round 1, January 17. If you don't see that box, refresh. It'll appear. You've got less than 300 seconds to do it. It's round 1, boner voting. Let's go.
Stay tuned for a 1-hour nonstop music wingding right after Radio from Hell on X96.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! In this episode, we find our missionaries tracting underground on Janus 6. Wow, would you look at these caverns? They're incredible.
You sure we have the right planet?
Yeah, I am. Janus 6. Why'd you ask?
Oh, just because this planet is uninhabited, that's all.
Well, I'm sure that Zone Leader Hansen had a good reason to send us here.
Yeah, like all the residents of this planet were killed by some unknown force, and he's hoping that we stumble upon it.
Now, Butch, you be nice. Hey, looky here. Perfectly round, shiny rocks.
Hey, a collection of bowling balls. Well, maybe there is life on this planet after all.
I don't think those are bowling balls. Hey, you shouldn't be touching those.
Well, you're right. They ain't bowling balls. The weight's all wrong, and they don't have holes drilled in them. Hey, you hear that?
You mean the menacing sound of a big rock sneaking up on us?
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Well, from the looks of it, I'd say it's a big rock sneaking up on us.
What the flip?
Oh, you better put down the bowling ball real slow and easy, Butch. I don't think the big rock that's been sneaking up on us likes the way you're handling it, and it's staring at us, too.
Okay, here you go.
It's backing off. Excuse me, Mr. or Mrs. Big Rock. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi. Hey, look, it's burning some words into the cavern floor. Me, Horta, these my babies. No kill I. Hey, she's friendly, and she has kids, so it means she must be married.
Mrs. Horta, we represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons. Hey, she just crossed out the no from no kill I.
Oh, so much for being a friendly rock.
Looks like this might just be a time to make an exit there, Lehigh. Let me just grab one of these little rocks as a souvenir. My cousin would love to have a real live pet rock.
I don't think she wants you to have one of our babies, Butch. Look out! Is this the end of our missionaries? Will Butch get to send a pet rock home to his cousin? Will Lehigh make him put it back? Is it legal to bowl with a silicone life form egg? To find out the answers to these questions, tune in next time to hear Butch say,
Okay, lady, back off or the little rock gets it.
Now, Butch, that's no way to talk to a prospective convert. Now give her back her baby. On the next bone-chilling episode of Space Elders!
Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 7:48. Time to award round one of your boner voting.
And round one of the boner voting is brought to you in part by some kebabs.
And Haster Games, they have the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it, 6831 South State, and online at hastergames.com.
So we had boner candidate number one, pizza for parking. Apparently, some parking enforcement officers in our neighborhood
right there
were allowing the owner and employees of the Sicilian Pizza Kitchen, just right over there on 3rd South here on Broadway. It was allowing the employees to park for free at the meters in exchange for, a slice of pizza or two. Boner candidate number two, a couple of beers in the morning helps steady my hand. Plastic surgeon in Lexington, Kentucky, showing up to perform a surgery, and he was drunk. And then boner candidate number three, what color are Norwegians, Madam Secretary? She's the secretary. She's the director, I think, Madam Director.
Mm-hmm.
The director of the Department of Homeland Security of the United States. And Patrick Leahy, as senator, asked her about Norway. Now, she'd been in that meeting with Donald Trump, along with a lot of other people, and they were asking her about, did you hear the president use those comments about Haitians and Africans, those racist comments? Did you hear that? I don't recall if he said that. There was a lot of harsh language in the room, a lot of profanity. Everybody was doing it. I don't recall if he said that. Well, Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey, took her to task for that. He said, you're a liar, and it's shameful that you're coming here and lying. But then Patrick Leahy at some point I don't know what prompted him to do it.
I'm glad he did.
I think he was asking to make a contrast.
Yeah.
About, so people are talking about these other countries where mostly dark-skinned people live, and they're using a lot of profane language. What color are the people in Norway, madam? What color are they? Are they predominantly white? I don't know, she said.
No, and she was saying, no, the reason he brought up Norway is they're very hardworking people there.
Are they predominantly white?
No, I don't know what color that. They're just very hardworking people. Like the people from Africa are not hardworking people.
But that was boner candidate number three, and that was the winner.
Yes.
Of today's boner.
All right, that's
Rachel won a boner T-shirt.
Way to go, Rachel. That's the winner of round one. It now goes to Boner Fight. It has a 50-50 chance of becoming Boner of the Day. It goes up against the winner of round two. Round two happens at 8:20. Boner Fight at 9:20.
Now, it's time for Hello, Yeah, What?
That's where people call.
Hello, yeah, what?
The biggest, the number one radio station in town.
Or one of them.
You can't do this there.
No.
You can't just call and be on the radio immediately.
Hello, yeah, what?
You'll call and they'll record it, and maybe they'll play it tomorrow.
And
maybe.
They'll play it back. They actually play it from an answering machine. That it says, you have 14 messages, and that plays on the air. There is one person there who takes live phone calls at that radio station, but they're very heavily screened. We have screeners here, but they let anybody
Nick,
on.
are you heavily You're not heavily screening anything, no?
Nick lets anybody on.
Yeah.
So call 877-602-9696. As I like to point out, this is a chance for you to talk about anything you like to talk about. Now, there are certain words you can't use, but if you're angry about something, you can call and express your anger. If you hate us and want to tell us you hate us, you can call and tell us you hate us, or you didn't like something we do, or some improvement we should make, or maybe you want to promote something. Maybe you want to talk about an event you're involved in.
Maybe you have a question.
Maybe you have just a question you'd like to ask us. It's just absolutely open to anything. We are working without a net here, folks.
We miss
Isn't
Annette.
that dangerous?
We wish she would return.
Annette.
Hello, yeah,
Excuse
what?
me. We're working without a safety meshed net below us to catch us if we fall. 877-602-9696 is the number. Call and be a part of Hello, Yeah, What?
Okay. 7:53.
I know.
It's funny. We get tons of calls for check-ins in the morning at 6.
Mm-hmm. They'll start coming.
Yeah.
Later on, I'm going to tell you about a test drive I took. Later on in the morning.
I can't wait. I have to wait for that?
Well, it's a test drive. It's a test drive of... you're an ass. You're just an ass.
Well, just...
You do. I know. Let's talk about my wine store. And what did I say?
I did you a favor.
I said, okay.
My wine in my house was you a favor.
What I thought was, oh boy, we're going to talk about Gina doing me a favor. But what did I say? Okay, let's do that.
Are you yes-anding me? Is that what that is?
I'm not sure what yes-anding
They call
is.
him Bill Yes and Allred, okay?
Always. He never cuts people off and says that.
Shut your pie hole.
Never does
Never
that.
says that he's not interested in talking about something. He's Mr.
It never happens.
He is Mr. Yes and.
Absolutely.
And don't ever forget that.
I'm a company man.
Tim the tree guy is checking in.
Tim.
Hello, yeah, what?
No, this is not check-in.
Good morning.
Yes, sorry.
Good morning, Tim.
So I don't think you can quit drinking yet, Bill,
Why is that?
because we have the brunch this Sunday.
Well, that's why I'm not
That's
doing
why
it
he's-
until Monday.
Monday is when he's going to start.
Tim, what are you, drunk?
I see.
Are you drunk? You're not listening.
I'm listening. I'm just slow.
If you must know.
It's because of the drinking.
Well, the Red as Hell Ale is coming back. I mean, you can't miss out on that.
Yeah, now the Red as Hell Ale at Squatters, it's going to be on tap, and just for that day. They're not rebottling it, so it's a special. And actually, we're giving away. Richie, help me out with this quickly. At some point
It's
today,
sold
we're
out.
giving away some entry into.
Yeah, this is the brunch is sold out. It's this Sunday at Squatters, and
Yeah, I already got my tickets.
good for you. Thanks for doing that, Tim. What is
The event is 11 to 1:30 at Squatters in Salt Lake on Sunday, and for the 8 o'clock boner voting and the 9 o'clock boner voting, we will give a couple of tickets,
Couple of passes away?
because that thing sold out, as you guys mentioned. So,
all right.
yep, 8:30 boner voting and 9:30 boner voting.
All right. So Tim, we'll see you there.
All righty, see you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Let's continue with Timber.
Hello, yeah, what?
Hi, Timber.
Timber, by the way, that kind of segues nicely into Tim the tree guy.
Yeah, it does.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Good morning. Thanks for letting me listen.
You're welcome.
I'm just calling because I've got my 2 kids in the car with me. We listen every morning, and my son's birthday is today. He just turned 4.
4? And how old's the other child in the car?
My daughter Sita, she's 6.
6. You are not a very good mother. You're letting them listen to this show.
I know.
Shouldn't do that.
I know.
Now, listen, what's your son's name?
My son's name is Walter.
Happy birthday, Walter.
Well, no, wait.
The birthday. I wonder.
We can't. Walter's not really going to be able to hear this because his mom's on the phone and the radio's turned down. So let's let her hang up.
Oh, I've got you on speaker.
Oh, all right. Well, then, happy birthday, Walter.
All right, that's enough.
And Walter, I know what your mom's getting you for your birthday. You know what you want me to tell you? She's getting you a pony. You're going to get a pony. Wouldn't you like a pony?
Oh, that's rude, Bill.
I think that's pretty funny.
So
All right.
rude.
I ruined the surprise. I'm sorry, Tim.
Thanks, you guys. Okay, we will continue this feature coming up.
Hello, yeah, what?
After these, if you insist, 877-602-9696.
If I'd done that pony thing to Gina with her kid, she would have felt forced to go buy her.
I did actually.
Get a
We have
pony.
ponies now. They all have ponies. Accident near Bangor Highway 114 South, 3600 West in South Jordan. Crash eastbound SR 73, slowing things down for commuters in the Eagle Mountain area approaching Saratoga Springs. 2 lanes down to 1 because of an accident there. Crash, northbound 15 at 123rd South. 2 left lanes closed there. And earlier, stupidity, semi-tanker carrying propane tried to go around some crossing arms that were down. 5th South, 25th West, still causing slowage in that area. Use 9th South as an alternate both directions there. That's traffic.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, yeah, what continues after these? 877-602-9696.
Hi, it's me, Bill Allred, and as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing better than good conversation and good food. So I've put them together with a podcast called The Let's Go Eat Show. We eat good food and we talk to interesting people. Find my podcast at theletsgoeatshow.com.
You know, he works late a couple nights a week, and then I'm in charge of dinner.
That means Olive Garden.
Which is a laugh.
Which me in charge of dinner is never me making dinner.
It's Olive Garden.
You know, you could learn. You're not stupid. You could learn. It's not. No, it's probably too late for you.
Listen, there are a limited number of recipes that you can do with meat and bread. And that's...
And my kids will tell you this story if you ever have them. What does your mom make you for dinner? And you know what they will tell you? Mac and milk.
Mac and milk?
Because a while ago I went to make mac and cheese for them.
You know, we have people who work for the Division of Child and Family Services listening to this show. I'm not sure you want to tell this.
And because I don't eat mac and cheese, I don't think... really. So you boil the pasta, and then I measured out the milk.
This is for the boxed.
Yeah, to put the
crap
powder in.
that any moron can do.
Yeah.
That at 8 years old I was doing.
And I poured the milk into the noodles, and I put it on the table, and the kids, all three of them, sitting there, and they said, "Did you put the cheese?
Where's the cheese?
Back in?"
It's just powder. It's cheese powder. Where is it?
I forgot to put it in the milk and mix it up.
So you are stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's impossible for you to learn to cook.
Yes.
You could do it.
But my husband does such a good job.
But that burden falls upon you to give succor to your family. to nourish
twice a week.
Gina, to nourish and strengthen their bodies.
That doesn't hurt them to have pizza twice a week.
So you're a disappointment. I'm surprised you snagged a husband.
I am too.
Well, everybody.
And he's such a good guy. He wouldn't divorce me now that he knows the truth.
Even though he was duped.
This is now a pity marriage.
All the way.
I'm married.
I got him to marry me quickly.
Now I married you out of pity. I got to stick with you because you wouldn't survive.
are you? Who are you? What's your name?
What is this?
This is Radio from Hell on X96, KXRK-FM, and HD1, Provo, Ogden, Salt Lake City, 96.3 FM, and streaming on X96.com and our free app. Utah's original alternative for more than 2 decades, 96.3 FM, X96. Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 8:05.
Hello, yeah, what?
Continues.
877-602-9696. You can just call and we'll talk to you. You won't find this anywhere else.
No. Well, your therapist.
No, even there you can't just call.
No,
Maybe leave a
have-
message. They'll
have
call
to
you back,
schedule.
make an appointment.
That's true.
Hello, yeah, what?
Anything you want to talk about?
We'll go to Sasha. Hello, Sasha.
Hey, Sasha.
Hello, yeah, what?
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Well, very well, and you sound like a bright, cheery person.
Oh, thank you. I'm on the Radio from Hell show, so why shouldn't I be?
Very
Right?
well said, Sasha.
Do any
Very
of
well
us sound cheery? Anyway.
Hi. Well, I love your show and I listen all the time, but
Thank
I
you.
want to call to voice my frustration
Uh-huh.
that when I go to a cafe or a coffee shop, when I purchase a bagel, why do I have to spend an extra 50 cents or an extra $1 to get the cream cheese?
Well,
Condiments should just be complimentary.
I don't think
Absolutely.
cream cheese is not a condiment. It's a meal.
Cream cheese is to a condiment. Do you eat cream cheese by itself? No, you put it on things.
Well, I guess
That's
the,
a condiment.
bagels.
Yeah.
I guess the way you could do it is just they should just charge one price for a bagel and a schmear, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that's a
And then
frustration to you. We'll start calling. We'll have Richie and one of the interns start calling all of the bagel places in town.
Insist they change this.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're happy to
Yes,
do it.
thank you. It needs to be changed.
I agree. All right.
Thank you.
We'll take care of it for you, Sasha.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. That's
Let's
what
go
we're
to-
here for.
Let's go to Mike.
Hello, yeah, what?
Mike.
Good morning. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right.
I had to say it. Yeah, I want to say I want to salute to all the truck drivers out there for keeping, everybody going. If it wasn't for them, I think we'd don't know where we'd go. But the reason why I'm calling, I wanted to bring up a good reason. I heard a segment about nicknames.
Yeah.
It was a couple months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and Bill was wanting to bring up the nickname Snake.
Snake.
Because
If you remember that one.
I don't, but it sounds like I would say something like "Call me Snake."
Well, the reason this is one reason why I thought would be kind of interesting is because snakes are very elegant from everything else. But you make them mad, they'll get after you, attack you any way possible.
That's Bill.
That's me. That's me. I'll go right for the snake hole.
There you
What
go.
that
That's
means.
I was.
have no
just
idea
giving
what
you
that
a good
means.
reason to bring back call you Snake.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, and thanks for censoring yourself. I know you were about to say, if you piss me off, but you thought that wasn't going to be acceptable, so you changed it.
Thank you for not doing what Bill just did.
Yes.
Yeah. It's more.
Yes.
It's classier to say make Bill angry rather than piss Bill off. So I'm glad you censored yourself. I could hear you wanting to say it. All right. Thanks, Mike.
I also want to say, I appreciate everything, all the events you guys gone through, and I hope you guys stay on the air for quite some time because it's very entertaining to listen. And I listen to you every morning.
Mike,
nothing else on the radio?
There's nothing else on the radio.
What else are you going to do?
So, Mike, when you say quite some time, we should stay on the air for quite some time. Could you kind of define
Well, because 4 hours is quite some time. Most talk shows are 3 hours.
I think he means years.
Oh, I see.
I think that's what he's going for.
Years on. Everybody deserves a break.
Well, just tell us how much longer we have to work, Mike.
Yeah.
How many more years do we have to do this?
Think of a millennial. How long do you guys want to work for?
That's true.
Good point.
Well,
Good point.
Good point.
Mike has been paying attention. I like
Thanks,
that.
Mike.
Hello, yeah, what?
Thanks, Mike.
God bless you, Mike.
All right. Let's go to Cagney.
Hello, yeah, what?
Is this our former intern, Cagney?
I don't know.
This is.
Oh,
How are you?
Good.
Where did I see you some little bit ago?
I don't know. I'm around.
Where are you working?
I'm working up at the University of Utah now.
I don't think that's where I saw you. Anyway, what's up, Cagney?
I was just calling to see if there are any generous souls out there because my daughter goes to the Pingree Autism Center in Salt Lake, kind of over by the university.
Yeah, I know where that is.
And we're doing a fundraiser, a silent auction on February 10th as part of the Sugar House Rotary Chili Open.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just looking for donations for our silent auctions or cash donations if anybody's willing. But all the money goes to the scholarships for the students that attend the school because it is pretty pricey because of all the intensive therapies that they offer.
If people want to donate, how would they go about doing that?
So probably the best way is to just contact me via email. So we have an email for our PTA. It's Pingree, PINGREE, PTA @gmail.com.
Pingree PTA gmail. Hey, Richie, we should come up with something. Now, if you have items that you want to put into a silent auction, just contact Cagney, Pingree PTA @gmail.com, and we should come up with something
Yeah,
for the
that would be
silent
great.
auction.
I know we've got a bunch of those cassettes. The cassettes that have space elders on them.
I wonder if maybe somebody would like to come and spend the day at the show. If that would be
Oh, yeah. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be something that people would want a silent auction on?
Sit in on the show?
Sit in on a Radio from Hell show for as many hours of one show as you want to?
Let's do that. Let's put you on. Well,
that'd be great.
You probably have Richie's number. So
I do. I used to, but I can at least get a hold of him on Facebook at the very least.
Here, I'll just put you on hold. I'm just contingency in case I can't put you on hold, which may happen.
Okay.
So yeah, there we go. Okay, you're on hold, and Richie can talk to you
there you go.
about
Cagney was a really good intern.
She was.
And she was an intern we didn't have to give a nickname to.
She had an interesting
because
name.
she had an interesting. That's actually her name.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, yeah, what?
Will.
Will.
Hello, yeah, what?
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, what's up?
So I wanted to talk about fry sauce.
Okay.
And what doesn't make sense to me is Utah thinks that they either invented fry sauce,
yeah,
or that they're the first ones to sell it. And it's just mayonnaise and ketchup, right? Both of those things have been in England since the 1830s, and it makes no sense why Utah 200 years later thinks that 100 years later thinks that they invented fry sauce. It's super frustrating.
Now hang on. We don't have much. Let us have fry sauce. Come
No.
on.
You don't.
We just don't have
I
much.
try to ask.
I was born and raised in Utah. We don't have much.
And if you Wikipedia it, which I just did, fry sauce, originally popularized in the United States by a chef named Don Carlos Edwards, who served it in
Arctic
his
Circle.
first restaurant, Don Carlos Barbecue in Salt Lake City.
Which became Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually done a lot of research into this. I go to the college, and he's the first one to have claimed that he has made fried sauce. But I don't think anybody should be able to make the claim that they can make something that if you put in front of a 3-year-old toddler, they can do.
Listen, we Mormon pioneers claimed this valley for white people, and there were other people here before us. So,
now listen, if that 3-year-old could invent it, then they should have done it, and they didn't, did they? They just stuck their fingers in it and then put it in their hair.
Why can't you just enjoy fry sauce?
I don't think anybody would try to claim something so ridiculous.
And it's not just ketchup and mayonnaise. There are different recipes. all right?
Some people have pickle relish, some people don't.
Don Carlos had, if you'll read more about that, because I've read this, he had a little secret ingredient that he would put in it to make it very distinct.
Garlic.
I'm from Washington State, and in Olympia we have this stuff called goop, and nobody knows what's inside goop. It looks like it's just relish and mayonnaise, but it doesn't taste like mayonnaise and relish. Nobody can actually duplicate this sauce, and they sell it for like $10 a jar.
Listen, I had goop when I was in the Himalayas, and the Sherpas claim they invented it.
Listen to Will. He goes to college, and he's from Washington State, and he thinks he knows everything.
But like you're missing the point, though. It's just kind of a silly thing, right?
Yes, it is. It is. No, that's the point. It is a silly thing, and it's stupid that you're getting so upset over it.
Just let us have our fry sauce.
Let us have it. Come on, Will.
There's like 7 different types of barbecue sauce, right? Those are all different types of barbecue sauce that have completely different flavors.
Let us have
Utah's
fry
trying to claim
sauce.
they mix ketchup and mayonnaise together.
Will, I tell you, if we go to England and ask for fry sauce, they won't know what we're talking about.
That's because they have the good enough sense that if they want ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together, they'll do it themselves.
No, worse, they're putting vinegar on their fries.
Goodbye, Will.
All right, Will.
I want some fry sauce.
I go to college from Washington State.
Why can't we have our fry sauce? We have so little.
We have traffic. That's not good. Accident near Bangor Highway 114th South, 3600 West in South Jordan. Eastbound crash SR-73 slowing things down in Saratoga Springs. I thought I saw there was some incident up by the U that somebody sent in earlier, and that has now disappeared from our...
It was a car turned over.
Yeah.
Car flipped over.
Send that back to me, and I will be happy to mention it. 33986.
Now, we have Boners Round 2 coming up, and if you're looking for them online, Nick did this differently.
Oh.
Usually there are 2 segments, Boners Round 1, Boners Round 2. He's just put it all together. So if you click on the one that says Boners Round 1...
They're all there?
It just says boners. It doesn't say boners
say
round 1 at all. It just says boners, and you can see round 1 and round 2 all
together
in the same
in a
group.
What happened?
Well, we're going to try something different. So you'll see the 2 rounds of boners in a post called Boners, and then you'll see one called Boner Fight that will show up later.
Well, I wish someone would have told me so that I could explain it to people.
See, and it had to be explained to me. I didn't know they were there.
I explained it in round 1 as a box, a different.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing.
So it's
people go to our social media. It says boners. You click,
boners.
you read, and you vote.
Yeah.
It's just one less box.
Yeah.
It's
Now.
getting rid of clutter.
Here are the candidates. I thought we could say things like that in Texas. Boner candidate number 2. Who will perform the wedding ceremony? Will it be Satan? And Boner candidate number 3. Well, we would... What? Wait a minute. Oh, I see. Well, I forgot what I wrote there. We would even fine Jesus if he did this.
All right. Boners, round 2. Also, Big Boy News coming up after these. BigOTires.com.
They are the team you trust.
Yes.
I've bought a couple of sets of tires from Big O, and it was a great experience there. I go to the one on Highland Drive. I think that's the one Carrie goes to, too.
Yeah, the one on 33rd, actually. Yeah.
I have never, ever, ever put any other kind of tire on my car since 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I started going to Big O Tires, and I use the Big O brand every time. I go to the one on 2nd East and South Temple. And so you go to Big O Tires right now because they have no credit check financing.
Really?
They don't check your credit.
They're awfully trusting there at Big O Tires.
So they have a buy 3 get 1 free tire sale going on now through the beginning of February. Cooper, Nito, or Continental Tires. Big O, locally owned and operated. Stop by any of the 38 Utah locations today. You can find tricks and coupons and more information and a store near you if you go to bigotires.com.
Attention, Utah residents. It's time again for the Radio from Hell Film Festival.
It's simple, easy, fun, and you could win $1,000.
Follow these 4 simple guidelines.
Lionel Elgin, our friend.
Baseball announcer.
Baseball announcer extraordinaire.
I've had people asking me about Lionel. What's happened
Well, you
to
know,
him?
the season started again, and he got another job. He announces baseball on radio stations, and
He keeps getting jobs because he's really good at it.
he is excellent at it. He's very colorful. He loves the players, is the thing. He really, really, really loves baseball players. Really.
Yeah.
A lot.
You'll see what we mean.
This is the latest tape he sent me. He got fired again. And this is what happened. This is the last one that he was at. Here you go. You tell me if he deserved firing or not. I don't know.
So we're set to go here in the third. And what a beautiful day for baseball it is. Like a day in the park, folks. The athletes like cuddly little pets, frolicking, running, jumping, chasing, and retrieving balls. Furry, fuzzy fellas. So here comes Davis now, 0 for 1 today, flying out to right in the first. Notice the way Davis likes to sway back and forth, foot to foot at the plate. First offering from Lee, fastball strike in the outside corner, 0-1. And as Davis teeter-totters back and forth, one can't help but notice the up and down motion of each cheek of his finely toned hind end. Like 2 pistons in a perfectly timed machine, lubed with oils and perspiration for maximum viscosity. Lee set now, kicks and fires, breaking ball low, 1-1. We call it the show, folks, and no wonder. Davis very muscular. Also, one of the unfortunate individuals involved in the steroid controversy, being questioned by league officials. Of course, Davis denies it. The 1-1 pitch, just inside ball 2. I don't personally know much about steroids. I know in most cases they're taken via hypodermic needle. And I'm of the opinion, folks, that if a player wants to stick something in his hind end or have a fellow teammate poke him in the rear, so be it. Who are we to judge? If it helps the game, bend me over and stick it in.
And so then that's when they went to commercial at that point, and
they fired him.
Then they fired him.
He doesn't get it.
Now, was it his comments about steroids? Is that what the problem was?
That must be it.
Yeah.
You know what
He sounds pro-steroid. And
You know what the problem is that he needs a color man.
He does. He needs someone in there with him.
He's doing it all by himself.
He needs to do the play-by-play. He needs somebody to do the color.
I think he's capable of doing. Well, he does both. I think perfectly.
Yeah, he does both, but he needs to.
I'm going to continue to send these to Larry Miller, and hopefully we can get him hired for the Bees. Because
you just like him in town.
Yeah, I think he's an excellent. He's an excellent announcer.
I think we got enough of his kind in this town.
a part of the Radio from Hell show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Let's see. We got a text. It says, "This show is going well. I should know. I go to college."
I listen to college people. They know.
Let's see. And remember that contact information, because that's how you will vote for round 2 of your boners. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your votes of these 3 candidates in round 2, which one deserves to go forward to Boner Fight to get a 50-50 chance of being Boner of the Day. Boner Fight happens at 9:20. 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
Well, Bill will give you a hearty handshake.
You betcha.
Like a man's hand, like a...
Yeah, you bet.
Do you do the handshake, Bill, where you grab with the one hand and then you take the other hand and put it over the top and you seal the deal there with...
I only do that at funerals.
Oh.
That's the handshake
That's
I
your
use.
funeral
That's my
handshake?
funeral handshake. Yeah. It's the handshake with the reassurance. That's what I
Oh, and really, Richie? Oh, and apparently tickets to our brunch at Squatters on Sunday. In addition to Bill's hearty handshake. We have.
Oh, that?
I guess.
Well, then pull the handshake.
I'm pulling the handshake.
Yeah,
I'm pulling that
Don't
out.
just throw those around.
No. You know what I need to do is get a joy buzzer.
And you must be 21 to win those. So
okay,
let Richie know when you call to vote.
877-602-9696 is the number to call to vote. But now let's get to boner candidate number 1. Well, I thought we could say those things. I thought we could say things like that in Texas. I thought I was okay. How about Indian giver? Can you say Indian giver?
No, you shouldn't say that.
Okay. Well, an anti-Semitic slur made by the co-host of a DIY reality series called Texas Flip and Move.
Yep.
Why is it that I look at that picture of her x96.com/live and I can just, I'm not surprised that she would say that.
Y'all, that is, well, this crude remark was uttered by series co-host, and that's her right there at x96.com. Her name's Tony Snow, to a musician who bought a refurbished, tricked-out school bus for $300 on the Texas-based house flipping series. At the end of the episode, the musician agreed without argument to buy the bus for a total of $36,000 after Tony and her sister and co-host Donna Snow, so it's Tony and Donna Snow on this show, they had spent nearly $27,000 on refurbishing it.
Okay.
And so the guy says, well, I'll give you $36,000 for it. Well, that's pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to make some money. And she should have been happy with that, but she says, oh, come on. You're not going to bicker just a little bit? You're not going to try to Jew us down?
Oh.
You're not even going to blink an eye?
No.
You're not going to Jew us down?
Now, wait a minute.
What? Wait a minute.
This is not a live broadcast.
No, that's the point.
This is not. So I hope not she is the boner. I hope whoever's behind this show is also the boner, because that went through
the DIY
that went
network.
through a bunch of eyes and ears before it got on
many
the air.
people.
The DIY network said, "We are sorry. We have edited that for out of future episodes, as they should have done."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boner candidate number 1. Well, I thought we could say things like that in Texas. Boner candidate number 2. Who's going to perform the wedding ceremony? Will it be Satan?
Glad you found this one.
Same-sex couple excitedly. Couple of guys getting married, excitedly opening their wedding programs on the eve of their Pennsylvania wedding ceremony. They were horrified by what they found in the package. Rather than send the plaintiffs, because they're suing, the custom wedding programs that they had purchased, Vistaprint instead sent plaintiffs literature with hateful, discriminatory, and anti-gay messaging, equating their relationship to Satan's temptation, according to a lawsuit filed. The plaintiffs, Stephen Heasley and Andrew Borg, who married on a hillside ceremony in Butler County, Pennsylvania, in September, added in a statement, "Our goal is to hold Vistaprint accountable for the harm they have caused and to send a message that there will be consequences for acts of hate perpetuated against others." Mr. Heasley and Mr. Borg had ordered 100 blue and gold programs for $79.49. that included the lyrics to their processional song, Treasure by Above and Beyond. I have no idea what that is. And they had gotten engaged on the same day that they saw the English. It's an electronic dance music group. And they really liked that song, Treasure, and so they wanted to. And instead, Vistaprint shipped them approximately 80 copies of a discriminatory pamphlet entitled Understanding Temptation, Fight the Good Fight of the Faith. The pamphlets were plainly meant to threaten us, they said. Boner candidate number 2. Well, who's going to perform that ceremony? Will it be Satan?
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
Coming up in a moment, Boner candidate number 3. Look, we would even find Jesus if he did this.
All right, Boner candidate number 3 coming up after this. Shorter than usual, big boy news and innuendo. Brought to you. Oh, we got things that must go coming up as well. News brought to you by.
Get your car ready for the new year at Big O Tires. Big O Tires offers financing tailored to you, including no credit check financing or financing if you prefer. Stop in now, buy 3 tires, get the 4th free on select sets of Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Isn't it Select? Not Select?
Select.
I think it's Select. Select Tire.
Cement.
So how did Author Michael Wolff gain access to the White House to get the quotes for his and get the story on this Fire and Fury book that's caused all of this? How did he get the
Trump blames sloppy Steve Bannon.
Right. Well, that's not the case.
It's not the case at all.
By the way, Mr. Wolff still claims. You think that I made up a lot of this stuff? I have tapes.
Yeah.
I have recordings.
I'd be happy. I've played them
Which
for the publisher.
Which is why his publisher has stood by him.
Yeah.
And
So Wolff said, well, here's how I got into the White House to do this. The working title of the book was The Great Transition, the First 100 Days of the Trump Administration. And he said, nearly everybody I spoke to thought that someone else in the White House had approved my participation. And it appeared that not a single person in a position of authority to halt cooperation with the book, including the president himself, raised any red flags. Despite Mr. Wolff's well-documented history, his previous works included a critical book on Trump confidant Rupert Murdoch. The published Trump book now carries the title, of course, Fire and Fury, and it paints a portrait of the White House in turmoil. Nearly everyone close to the president believes he is unfit for the job, and Wolff's work has upended the start of Trump's second year in office.
Wrong.
Now, the book has caused Trump to publicly and dramatically sever his relationship with Steve Bannon. Trump's lawyers insisted or have issued an ineffectual threat against Wolff's publisher.
no, because he had permission and he has tapes and and Trump knew he was there because
talked to him.
because what Trump cares about most is attention. Oh, somebody's here writing a book about me. You bet you can come in here.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Wolff said the whole thing began with a phone call with Donald Trump himself, who phoned me in early February to compliment me on a CNN appearance in which I had criticized media coverage of Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He liked me because of that.
Exactly.
And Wrong. So when I said I want to come and write a book, he and everyone else said, okay, fine. So why should you never hold in a sneeze? I used to stifle my sneezes routinely. I don't anymore. But if you've ever tried to stifle a particularly powerful sneeze, just don't do it.
Let her rip.
In a case study from BMJ, I think that's British Medical Journal, disgustingly titled Snap, Crackle, and Pop, authors describe the plight of a man who held back a sneeze and ended up hospitalized for 7 days for his effort. The man, a healthy 34-year-old in the UK, tried to stop a forceful sneeze by pinching his nose and closing his mouth. It caused a popping sensation in his neck and swelling and pain, and by the time he sought medical treatment, he was having a hard time swallowing and speaking. He had ruptured a hole in his neck by stifling this sneeze.
Let her rip.
Yeah, let it rip. I knew a guy, I think I've told this story on the air before. I noticed that we were in acting class together. I noticed he had a scar kind of showing up above his shirt right in the middle of his chest.
Okay.
And I said, what's that scar from? What happened? And he opened up his shirt a little bit and he said, oh yeah, it goes all the way down my breastbone. I said, what happened? He said, you won't believe it. I took a big hit of marijuana. And I was holding it in, and I stood up and reached for a bowl of nuts. And my breastbone split down the middle.
Because he was holding his breath so hard?
Holding his breath in, and he just a certain motion, and he said it was immediately just horrifically painful.
Wow.
And he had to go have his breastbone stitched back together in the middle.
See, kids, drugs are bad.
No, it's the
And
holding in the
sneezing.
sneezing.
Oh.
It's a confusing.
And vaping has put an end to all of that. I mean, really. Ann Curry
Yes.
has broken her silence on Matt Lauer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
She said
You won't be surprised.
they were not.
They weren't friends.
They were
no.
not friendly. And she said, I did not know the specifics of a lot of this stuff, but the atmosphere there, I'm not surprised to find out what a bad guy he is. I'm not surprised to find out any of these details. He is, and this the look on her face when she's talking. You can tell, he could just go to hell as far as I'm concerned. She
hates him.
I knew I liked Ann Curry.
I like her because she's rumpled. She doesn't really care if she's entirely put together, I think, which I like. And anyway, you can read more of her comments. She said it was a bad atmosphere there all the time, and I was happy to be out of there, and I didn't like him ever.
All right. Sports, weather, traffic.
Sports, I thought you might do this as a boner candidate, Bill. An intoxicated man who showed up at Saturday's NFL divisional playoff game in Philadelphia without a ticket was arrested after punching a police horse.
Oh, yeah, I did see
Taylor Hendricks, 22,
Mongo,
said he was drunk, didn't have a ticket, and cops were trying to prevent him from trying to go into the game, and police on horseback, and he punched a horse. You don't punch a horse. The Jazz are on the road tonight. They play Sacramento. Your climate change update, a beautiful spring-like weather in January. Wear flip-flops. And
there's nothing wrong here.
Birds are chirping. It's 50 degrees.
Nothing to see.
Nothing to see here. Thank you, friends of the program, for saying UTA not letting northbound tracks go past the Central Point station. Nothing from UTA on Twitter, says Dina. Thank you for letting us know that. Somebody said, yeah, a car coming down the hill flipped over near Fraternity Row at the U. Haven't even seen that mentioned on UTA either this morning. So send it to me if you would, please. Text it to us, 33986. Brought to you by Experience the best parts of your own backyard at Reebok Ragnar Wasatch Back, June 1st and 2nd. It's an overnight team relay race inspired a worldwide running movement. Grab 11 friends and enroll today. RunRagnar.com. Enter promo code X96 and receive $60 off team registration.
Here's boner candidate number 3. So we would even find Jesus if he did this. Homeless encampments line streets in a street in San Diego, where volunteers are cited for given tickets when they go down to help feed the homeless people there.
Ooh.
A dozen do-gooders in California were issued tickets for offering food to homeless people in a public park. The dozens of volunteers cited Sunday were part of a bigger group in El Cajon, protesting a city ban on sharing food in public places. If I'm going to be arrested for something, let it be for feeding the homeless, said Matthew Schenk. I am not going to apologize. I am doing the right thing.
Yes, you are.
Mr. Schenk was one of about 50 people who attended Sunday's event in Wells Park. Everybody, including a 14-year-old boy handing out food to the needy, was given a ticket. El Cajon City Council members passed the food sharing ban in October, saying it would help protect people from hepatitis A, which had spread among local vagrants. An attorney representing the 12 people cited said the ordinance is a backhanded attempt at getting rid of the city's homeless people and a First Amendment infringement. It is a disgrace, said Attorney Scott Dreyer. People were complaining. Homeless people will come up to them in the park if you give them free stuff. It's discriminatory against a vulnerable class of people. Plain and simple, and on top of that, it abridges the First Amendment rights of the people who want to feed them. The El Cajon City Council said, listen, we would even find Jesus if he did this. They didn't, but that's the attitude.
All right.
Boner candidate number 3.
Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, I thought we could say things like that in Texas. It's a woman on a program on the DIY Network and the DIY Network for not censoring this, who said to a customer, well, I'm surprised. Aren't you going to try and Jew us down? Aren't you? Boner candidate number 2 is, well, who will perform the wedding ceremony? Will it be Satan? This same-sex couple, a couple of guys getting married, they contracted for their wedding announcements and programs with a place called Vistaprint, which instead of sending the wedding programs, sent them hate-filled literature about Satan and homosexuality. And Boner candidate number 3, we would even find Jesus if he did this.
All right, you got to decide which of these 3 is the worst. Which of these 3 should go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day? 1, 2, or 3. Put the candidate number in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. That's one way to vote. Another way is 877-602-9696. Use your voice. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Vote January 17. All of the candidates are there. Don't be confused. All right. Let's see. You've got less than 300 seconds. Let's go. It's round 2 of your Boner voting. Things that must go coming up as well.
Keep the radio on.
Well, Punk, let's get to the movie review, shall we?
There we go.
That's why nothing to spend in the summer in and out of health facilities, like 18 Fingers of Death.
Tell us who stars in this opus.
Well, this is the only movie that's better than 17 Fingers of Death.
Yeah.
It stars James Liu.
Oh, so this is a sequel then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Buford, the down-and-out action hero.
James Liu, okay.
Okay.
And we got Maurice Patton.
Yeah.
He's Ronald Mack, the college student and wannabe director.
Okay.
Lisa Arturo.
Nope.
She's Sushi Q, the Honorable Fortune Cookie CEO.
Okay.
Pat Morita.
Oh, well, there's a name I recognize. Arnold from Happy Days.
So I know this movie's at least a year old, right?
Exactly. Well, I noticed he's got lots of others that are in post-production.
Oh, God. All right.
He's the humble restaurateur. We got Lorenzo Lamas.
Lorenzo
Lamas, yeah.
He's a Antonio Bandana, the singing martial artist.
Okay.
Oh.
Robin Shue.
This sounds like just a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's Jackie Chong.
Yeah.
And we got Charlie George Brown as Chuck Snorris.
Chuck Snorris. Okay.
Oh, God.
And Kurt Graves as Steven Seafood.
Okay. Tell us the plot of 18 Fingers of Death.
Well, as far as I can tell, this guy starred in 803 of the finest action movies ever filmed. But he's come up with a script for what could be his breakout role. But when the producers back out and pull his funding, he's forced to pull out the "Will Work for Kung Fu for Money" sign and sell his Kung Fu movie memorabilia in order to get enough money to make a movie in 1 week for the Sundance Film Festival.
God.
And they managed to get like about 90 minutes out of this?
Yep.
Jeez.
A full 90 minutes.
All right, have you got a scene from 18 Fingers of Death?
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a little Pat Morita.
Okay.
Oh, good. Pat Morita.
So here we go.
Oh, Mr. Lee, listen, I've always been wanting to know, do you have Chinese Jews? Chinese Jews? Oh, very sorry, today is no Chinese Jew. We only have the apple Jews and the orange Jews.
Oh, man.
Jeez. This is worse than I even dreamed.
Yep. What are you giving this movie, Punk?
I'm actually giving it 3.5 Prozac.
What? It's the pills talking, Punk.
It's the prednisone. I think it's the prednisone. For digging up guano, lining up to fight. You can only fight the good guy one at a time.
That's
you
right.
You have to circle him.
Yeah.
Feathered hair, the drunken bastard, Bong Fu the series, a wicker basket beaten, bow tie in the kitchen, cowboy foo, a fallen in love montage, an attack midget, and yes, learning to speak out of sync.
Learning to speak out of sync. All right, and what junk food are you going to have while you watch this movie?
I think you need to gather a few Lynn Wilson's meat and cheese burritos with extra cheese and onions. You can mix in the Durkin's French fried onions as you need. A nice meatball hero, some Rainbow Twizzlers, a bunch of Starburst, Reese's Pieces, a bag of Honorable Fortune cookies, and, yes, a nice cold canister of Lost Energy drink.
All right, Bong.
Wow, sounds lovely.
For those of you that are lost.
All right.
18 Fingers of Death.
The movie that's better than 17 Fingers of Death.
To your boner voting.
And round two is brought to you in part by some Greek salad.
And Haster Games, they have the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it, located at 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
So, boner candidate number one, I thought we could say things like that here in Texas. You know, aren't you going to try and Jew us down? Oh, you can't say that?
Oops.
The DIY network apparently didn't know that you couldn't say that.
That's offensive.
Yeah. And then boner candidate number two, who's going to perform the wedding ceremony? Will it be Satan? A same-sex couple of guys getting married. They contracted with a printing company to print up their wedding programs. They didn't get the wedding programs. They got hateful literature about
they're going to hell.
About homosexuality and with, you know, that Satan mentioned in it, and really nice, huh? And boner candidate number three was, we would even find Jesus if he did this. How dare you people feed the homeless in San Diego? It's against the law. They're not in San Diego proper. What's that little town? Was it El Cajon, I think? Yeah. So let's see. We had a winner of the Squatters Brunch tickets.
Yeah, it's sold out this Sunday, but
we're going to give away another pair later on. I think
so. Yeah.
But Brooke won those, and the winner of the boner voting by an incredibly large margin of votes, boner candidate number two. Who will perform this marriage? Satan.
All right, 2 wins. It is now round 2 winner. Goes up against the winner of round 1. It has a 50-50 chance of being boner of the day. That is decided with Boner Fight at 9:20. Things that must go, brought to you by?
Upon qualification, buy a new home with New Dwello's Gift of Equity program. A gift could mean up to $8,740 for the purchase of that new home. Text the word money to 62687.
Things that must go on the radio.
These are things that are bugging you, our dear, dear friends of the program. Things that you really, really think should get out of your life. Maybe if you send them to us and we read them on the radio, they will, in fact, must go. You can send your must goes to radiofromhell@x96.com, and please put "must go" in the subject line so we know where to file it. Gina.
Oh, you want me first?
Sure.
Okay. First one is something of mine. When you make an appointment, like a hair appointment or a doctor appointment or something, and you make the appointment and then they send you a text right away to confirm it.
Yeah.
Like immediately, like the second you make the appointment. And then like a week out, you get a message from them saying, you got an appointment coming up on this day. Are you still okay with that? Confirm here. And then the day before, 11 o'clock tomorrow, you have...
That doesn't make any sense.
But I feel like they almost want you to cancel. Like, are you sure you can come tomorrow at 11? Like they're...
Well, it doesn't make any sense to send you one immediately after you make the appointment.
Are you sure you still want to come tomorrow at 11? Yeah, well, yeah. Do you want me to cancel? You keep asking like you've got something else going on. Let's see. This is from Lou.
Yeah.
It says, much love, bitchers.
Okay.
Things that must go. Women referring to their small children as littles. Yeah. They're your kids. Don't try to make it cute. I call mine my littles.
I don't like that either.
Let's see. This is from Josh. Josh had a bunch of driving stuff, and we try to stay away from driving stuff. Josh also says, popping your gum must go. I was at my daughter's preschool Christmas concert, and the father behind me was popping his gum the entire time. Not only was it extremely rude, but the cute sound of the Christmas songs being sung by preschoolers were consistently broken up by the obnoxious loud pop of this inconsiderate person's gum. Thanks for letting me listen, and sweet Jesus, I hope something changes soon. Let's see this from Please Don't Use My Name. People that panhandle with their kids, just hugging, stop it, stop it, stop it. It's cold. Take your 3-year-old home and warm him up and ask him to forgive you for being a hugging, horrible dad. Team building days at work must go.
They're my kids. I can do what I want.
My toddler's severe eczema must go. My toddler's severe allergies must go. And this soupy gray winter air must go. So much more, but I will pause so others can voice complaints. Thank you.
All right. Gary?
Let's see, this one from Jeremy. People that spit while using the urinal.
Gross.
Yeah. He wrote gross.
You
right.
see that? You see that at the gym quite a bit.
All right. Let's see. This one from Dan. Dan, let's see. I'm a long-time listener, first-time must-goer. I walk my dog every morning while listening to you, and here's my list of things that must go. He's got a whole bunch of like shoveling, and I got to skip because he put in so many. People who are too wimpy to sit in a cold car or truck that they have to let idle for 15 minutes in the morning. On my walks, I generally see large trucks, diesels, and gas vehicles that are spewing exhaust with no one around. And here I am walking with my inversion mask on so I don't die. And you're contributing to our crappy air because you don't want to be cold for 10 minutes. Another thing that must go is the Punisher logo. It's from the Marvel comics. The Punisher logo being co-opted by right-wing patriots as someone that we should be emulating to be patriotic. I keep seeing bumper stickers with the American flag made out of the Punisher logo. I have a hard time believing that the patriots who founded this country thought the best way to deal with crime would be to brutally kill people in the streets. Never forget the Punisher is not a hero.
Not a good guy.
He is a psychotic killer.
Yeah, not a good guy.
Finally, this. Now, I was going to get upset at this.
Oh, okay.
But Dan showed his cards at the end.
Okay.
Finally, this. Carrie saying a boner candidate has a 50-50 chance of winning boner of the day. Just because it is 1 out of 2 winners doesn't mean the odds are 50-50. We aren't drawing the name out of a hat. I'm sure the percentage can be calculated by looking at the previous round's votes, the strength of the candidate, and whether child abuse, animal abuse, or Trump are part of it. Saying 50-50 makes me think it's just the luck of the draw and it doesn't matter how I vote. Hashtag poke the bear. So I know he was trying to get a rise out of me.
Not going to work, huh?
This one from Dan. When our building's maintenance lady gets time off and she gets no replacement, our bathroom goes to hell, not getting restocked. I love air drying or wiping my wet hands on my jeans. And then he's got one that I don't want to read. And then one that's the coworker who enters the restroom while I am in the stall and stands directly outside of the stall, shoes visible.
Don't do that.
Under the door, waiting for his turn.
Yeah.
Even if I have just sat down in the seat, he will stay no matter how long I am there. I've played on my phone for 20 minutes just to see if he will leave.
I've done that.
Nope. It's uncomfortable.
Yep.
You've done which part? Sat there and waited?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'll wait.
And finally, this one from Tony. I don't. My thing that must go is my friend getting angry at me for blocking her to build the longest road when playing Settlers of Catan. She gets so angry that she throws blueberries at me and shouts, "I'm going to hug you so hard." I bought those blueberries.
All right, this one from Cody. Hello, Lords and Lady. The thing that must go is the assumption that refusing to meet with Trump is always the best choice. It's been my experience in life that if I can make a bigger impact on someone if I actually talk to them.
Oh, people refusing to meet with Trump.
Yeah, that's the assumption that refusing to meet with Trump is always the best choice. It's been my experience that I can make a bigger impact on someone if I actually talk with them than if I never do. I believe not meeting with him just causes him to write you off as someone who doesn't matter. But if you meet with him, at least you have a small chance of making some sort of positive impact on him. Anyway, thanks for letting me listen and keep up the good work. Cody. This one is from Hello. I recently started listening regularly since I started my early morning job a few months ago, and I really appreciate the sarcastic, refreshing take on the news that you present. I do have one thing that must go, and I would like to hear your insight on this. I can't stand it when people on the radio, you all included, sorry, say the word financing. My ears shrivel when I hear financing, like dancing, instead of financing. Oxford Dictionary has 3 different pronunciations. Cambridge Dictionary says it's my way. So I don't understand why everyone on the radio in Utah seems to be married to this one pronunciation of financing. This must go for the sake of my ears. Thanks for letting me complain. If your producers or whatever makes radio forces you keep pronouncing financing incorrectly, I will put up with it. Just know that I'm out here cringing at those financing ads.
I say financing.
I would just ask this person how they pronounce insurance.
Insurance?
Is it insurance or is it insurance?
Or is it, I
think it's insurance.
It's insurance.
But
so it should be financing.
I like to say financing because it makes me sound fancy.
It's easier.
Yeah.
It's like I say Batman instead of Batman because Batman is easier.
Yes.
And then finally this one. This is kind of a sad one, but I'm going to do it to end the must-goes. Carrie, Bill, and Gina, some say Utah's liberal voice. I say Utah's voice of reason. Thank you. I've put my heart on the line a couple of times, berating the insurance industries or the insurance industries or the insurance industries and our ridiculous USA greatest healthcare system. But today, I curse the gods and cancer. What must go is the slow and painful and deliberate pain that cancer inflicts on a victim and a family. Thank goodness for hospice and the flood of pain medication and marijuana that they're willing to dispense when death is inevitable. The good from this is how much closer it has drawn us to children, family, and in-laws. I love you, my son, Nicholas, the man whose obituary we read on the air last week. He was a devoted geek to the end. He gives The Last Jedi a 4 out of 5. I've also grown to love his wife even more for the compassion and fidelity she has shown in seeing my son through this end of his life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. His life was good, and thank you, Radio from Hell.
Things that must.
Traffic.
We'll just give you a quick check of traffic because things have cleared up quite a bit, actually.
Oh, good.
We've got crash SR 248 in Summit County. A stalled vehicle northbound I-15 at 33rd South. The on-ramp there, left lane is closed. And looks like that is about it.
Looks like, seems like, I know it looks like that because I can see it clearly with my vision correction from Hoops Vision. Laser eye surgery. I keep thinking we shouldn't call it surgery. We should call it a procedure.
Well, I don't know. Let's call them and ask them because it does seem like a procedure. You just lay down.
There's no blood involved.
No, they get you under the thing and that's it.
They don't knock you out.
You're awake the whole time.
For it. It's not painful. I'm used to surgeries being painful. That's not what LASIK is. LASIK is a procedure that they use lasers, and they can correct your vision. You can get rid of your glasses and your contact lenses, and nobody does it better than Hoops Vision. I've had it done, so's Carrie. Many of our family members have. So schedule your free LASIK consultation with Hoops Vision today. Just call them, 877-30-LASIK. Ask about 24 months, zero interest financing, and also about their See Clearly guarantee. Call them today, 877-305-2745, and you can always find out more by going to the website. It is spelled HOOPES, hoopsvision.com.
The Sundance Film Festival is back in Utah January 18th.
Say,
all right.
Hey,
give me a pack.
Somebody give me a carton of Marlboros right now.
As much of a food lover as you are, I'm curious what heavy smoking does to the taste of food, because I would think everything would taste like cigarettes.
You know, they say that, oh, when you quit smoking, your palate wakes up, and I've never really noticed any difference at all.
You don't have that taste in your mouth all the time?
And there's a lot of people who find it really satisfying, after a meal, you light up.
Yeah, now, that's the one thing, after having a nice meal, to have a cigarette after a nice meal.
A little scotch,
That's the best,
Gina, I probably already know the answer to this question, but have you ever smoked a cigarette?
Shh. Nope.
Not at all?
Nope.
Not even a fake one?
Nope. I've never even put an unlit one in my mouth.
Really?
Nope.
All of these questions could apply to her sex life as well.
Never even put in...
Fake one, the real one, never addicted. No.
Because in high school...
After a good meal, no.
In high school, I smoked a ginseng cigarette, a whole pack of ginseng cigarettes, actually.
What?
I was
or
in
you mean clove?
No, they were ginseng. I got them at a GNC or something like that, and it was for a show I was in, a play that I was in. I had to smoke on stage.
I have to smoke.
And so I did.
Yeah, you do.
And I liked it. I didn't like it because I thought it tasted good and it burned. I liked it because you could go, you see? Yeah.
No, that's one of the reasons I never tried it, because I was worried I would like it.
Also applying to your sex.
Yeah, worried I would like it.
That's not any of the reason you never tried it.
That's part of the reason.
That's not even a tiny part of the reason.
Yes, it
the
is.
tiniest part. The reason is your mother told you not to.
Well, that's a big part
That's
of it.
the only reason.
That's what you should do. Here's your adventure. Smoke a cigarette.
There you go.
I don't want to smoke a cigarette.
It's just one. It won't hurt you.
Too many boundaries, Gina. Too many boundaries.
How many times have I heard that? Just one, it won't hurt you. It's just one.
I think the reason that Gina never started smoking was she heard the phrase, "If she smokes, she pokes," and that's when she decided that it was probably not a good idea to.
Yeah, I mean,
don't want people to think,
Yeah, or she doesn't want people to think she's easy, or a nurse.
That's right. We have been talking a lot about smoking today, haven't we?
Yeah.
God.
But it is true.
Just change the bong water every time. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry, but it is true. If the old say, if she smokes, she pokes. It's pretty much true.
Yeah, that has been my experience as well.
So then it makes sense that I...
That's why she didn't. Telling you right now, that's why she didn't. She didn't want to look like a slut.
And it's why she still doesn't.
Couldn't you smoke? Get one of those like Hunter Thompson cigarette holder things.
FDR.
The elegant.
Yeah. And then hold it like this.
Yes.
Up like Greta Garbo or something like that.
It's true. I was worried I would like it, and I have no self-control. None.
You have you?
No.
No, she doesn't have any self-control. That's why she never does anything.
Would you like another Coke, Gina?
Yes.
All right.
Someone get Gina an eclair.
I don't want an eclair.
Oh, yes,
I have
you
no
do.
room for an eclair.
Yeah. Get Gina. Look at those delicious
See
pastries.
this right here? Biscuits and gravy. Just, they're sitting there.
I know. Oh, man, I'm in bad trouble.
I'm
going
gonna
to
have the burger later. That's going to be interesting.
X96.
No pee breaks, people. No pee breaks.
What? Sorry.
Oh, it's Corey.
There's too much going on.
We got to do the giveaway.
Mm-hmm. And then Corey's community and concert update.
You know what? We'll be doing the giveaway in a minute.
He often prevents us from peeing. Corey does.
Well,
that's okay though. I like finding out.
I think it breaks up your pee routine. I think it's good. It's good for you.
It's good for bladder health. Bladder health.
Let me ask the president's doctor about
It's
that.
good for urethra health.
Definitely, I saw that on Dr. Oz, so
Here.
it's got to be true.
Let me do this quickly. X96 proud to welcome AWOL Nation to the Complex Wednesday, March 7th. Tickets are on sale at thecomplexslc.com. This is powered by Lyft Credit. This is a qualifying prize. I'm going to give you a keyword. You will text it to 33986. The 96 texter will win those AWOL Nation tickets, and then you'll be qualified for a trip for two to Gulf Shores to see AWOL Nation, among others, the Killers, Cold War Kids, Portugal the Band, St. Vincent, Buster, the People, and the Bleachers. And here is your keyword. Flattery.
It'll get you nowhere. Oh, no, it might get you to Gulf Shores.
Flattery. Flattery. Text that to 33986.
All right. Is this sponsored, Corey?
This is sponsored. It's brought to you by New Politics, live at the Depot on February 28th, an all-ages show.
What day of the week is that? Do you know? February 28th?
I don't.
Because that's going to be good. I'd like to see that.
Let me look.
So Corey is here.
Wednesday.
I
was going to predict not a weekend.
Yeah.
All the good shows are Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it seems like here.
I know.
We're Salt Lake.
It's because Denver and Vegas want Friday and Saturday.
So Corey is here. Corey's on the air, does his radio show. He spins the platters.
The platters?
Yeah, from 7 to whenever he feels like going home. You have stacks of wax, don't
It's
you?
usually like 3 a.m. I stay.
Really?
I just like to stay and keep it, make sure things are okay.
Well, good.
Yeah.
And you have no place else to go.
I have no place else to go. I can't now.
So what is happening in our community, concert-wise and event-wise?
There's a whole lot going on this week. It's a good thing you asked. Tonight, start the whole week off mellow. I don't know if you've been over to this new place. They're practically our neighbors. This Avant Groove, this new jazz club that opened here.
No.
So
First time hearing of it.
Yeah, it's great. I've been there a few times.
Where is it?
It's where Cafe Pierpont used to be, and a place called The Office, and they had a few other bars. This place, I hope it hangs around. It's a really good jazz bar in Salt Lake, and I don't think we've had a great history with jazz clubs in Salt Lake.
No.
But the setup is great. They got a great kind of Art Deco thing. There's a place to hang out in the back. There's booze if you want to kind of be away from the music, if you want to sit up close and watch it.
So is it live music?
It's live music.
All the time?
Yeah. So go check that out tonight. Start off mellow. Maybe you have somebody on your eye on Bumble or Tinder. Good place to meet them as well.
Now, just one other quick question: they have live jazz every night of the week, or when?
I don't think every night. I think they're spread out a little bit, but it'll be the Elastic Jazz Quintet tonight. Seen them a few times. They're good. They play some standards and do some improv and stuff. But very classy place, very cool place to go hang out. So check that out. I hope it hangs around.
It's called again
Avant Groove.
Avant Groove.
Yeah. So check that out. Tomorrow, we get right into it. Film Festival officially kicks off, so why not go check out some Stanley Kubrick at Broovies. They're doing a Stanley Kubrick Film Festival. They're showing The Shining and A Clockwork Orange. So you'll be there for about 10 and a half hours, which is great. $10 in advance, 13 at the door, 21 and over, of course. Also, tomorrow night, you've got an evening with Kevin Smith at Wise Guys. He'll be there spinning yarns, I guess. Is what he does.
He just gets up and tells stories.
Yes.
Once again, takes questions.
10 and a half hours, I suspect that'll last as well.
Exactly.
The Sundance Film Festival kicks off, of course. Yes. You've heard about this.
Jeez.
They've been around for a while. Screenings in Salt Lake, of course, down at Sundance and in Park City. That's all going to get revved up tomorrow. Friday, once again, Kevin Smith, Jay, and Silent Bob get old at Wise Guys.
That's where Jason Mewes joins him on
Jason
stage.
Mewes will be joining him on stage. Also, Friday night, Marilyn Manson at the Complex, making good on a date after his last year, his scaffolding fell on him.
Oh, that's right.
Nearly crushed him. Possibly an act of God, maybe. Pauly Shore will be at Wise Guys on Friday night out at Jordan Landing. And I think the night before I'll actually be up at Ogden's Wise Guys. So Pauly Shore hanging around as well. Saturday, Jason Mewes at Wise Guys. Doing a solo kind of thing. Yeah, just all by his lonesome. So he'll be there. And Mike Birbiglia at Kingsbury Hall.
He's very good.
You know him from Orange is the New Black, and if you turn on NPR, they're always talking about him all the time, constantly. They love him.
It's our good friend Mike Birbiglia.
Yes. I have a big crush on Birbiglia.
Yes, we do.
Sunday, Lights, Camera, Brunch at Squatters.
Hey, that's us.
You guys will be out there. Sold out. Trent Harris will be there, Jay Whitaker. But if you can't go, it'll be a podcast, so you'll be able to listen to it later. Just close your eyes, go get yourself a Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
I like a Ghost Rider.
Pretend
personally.
it's the Red as Hell Ale.
And also, because you can only get that there, right?
Only at that event.
Only place at that event.
That's
so,
right.
Anti-Flag will be over at Metro Music Hall. You need a little punk rock in your life? That's SLC Punk approved, according to John Smith. KRS-One will be at Metro Music Hall.
Really?
Yeah, it was going to be at Urban Lounge, but it's sold so well because it's KRS-One.
Yeah.
Glad to hear he's still around.
Yeah, that'll be going on. Dino Fest 2018 at the Natural History Museum of Utah.
Well, I got to go to that.
I had to have something in there for families.
Yeah.
The rest of this stuff, 21 and over and heathens. But Dino Fest, that's for everybody. Monday, the Moby Dick at Utah Opera.
Yeah, an opera of Moby Dick.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
It is certainly ripe for an operatic telling. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that runs through the 28th, so you have a few opportunities to catch that. Tuesday, music is abundant. The Wombats will be at the Complex. Great band from the UK.
Yes.
Styx will be at the Eccles Theater. And Passion Pit will be at the Depot.
There you go.
So, and that's everything that's going on. There's a lot. So if
There
you
is.
missed any of that, the blog's up at x96.com.
No complaints that there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's plenty to do.
There's Styx, though.
We're in it. We're in it. So
what I need a favor from you, if you could find out when David Byrne tickets go on sale. He's not coming until like May.
Yeah, I do.
But I'd like to get those tickets as soon as possible.
That will sell out quickly, I bet.
Because he's traveling. This is a massive tour, and he's traveling with like a 10-piece band.
And he's doing Talking Head songs.
Yeah.
He is doing that. Let's see. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m.
Excellent.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Oh, and Jack White tickets go on sale next week.
Oh, that's
announced
right.
Jack White as well.
is coming, yeah.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks.
Corey's Community and Concert Update. Thanks again. You're a pal.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, let's see. We got Boner Fight coming up. Stand by for that.
Diamonds Direct?
Yes.
Listen, there's so much going on in town, but take a moment out of your busy schedule to go buy some diamonds.
Well, you might have gotten cash for Christmas.
I was just going to say that's
Yes.
a great thing. Oh, and Valentine's Day's coming up.
I keep forgetting Valentine's Day.
And in Diamonds Direct, you'll go into their showroom there. It's just south of the Fashion Place Mall, and you're going to walk in, and your first thought is going to be, I can't afford this store. It's too nice in here.
Very nice showroom.
It's a beautiful showroom, but you can. It's Diamonds Direct.
Say hi to Lou and Derek and the gang over at Diamonds Direct. They are nice. They'll teach you about diamonds. They don't high pressure you. So when we say Diamonds Direct, well, it's not just diamonds. They have all kinds of fine jewelry, colored stones, pendants,
gemstones,
earrings, all of that kind of thing. And Diamonds Direct guarantees they have the lowest prices in town because they have a direct relationship with the diamond cutters in Tel Aviv. And that's where the big diamond markets are these days, is in Tel Aviv. So go to Diamonds Direct for great, extraordinary savings on jewelry. They're at 6400 South, right across from the Fashion Place Mall.
We know that live music on the beach is a hell of a lot better than suffocating under the inversion.
So we want to send you to see...
It's one of the most hotly debated public lands issues of the past several decades. The reintroduction of the gray wolf into Yellowstone National Park. Now, a similar controversy is brewing in Utah's state capital. Tonight on PBS, Frontline looks at the movement to reintroduce penguins into Salt Lake City. As recently as 40 years ago, Magellanic penguins roamed free in the tree-lined neighborhoods of Salt Lake's Avenues district. The flightless birds had few natural enemies, and their huge flocks were a common sight. But unrestricted hunting, family pets turned predator, and encroaching civilization all took their toll on these funny, waddling creatures, and they eventually became extinct in Salt Lake City. Join Frontline correspondents as they talk to the old-timers who still remember what it was like when penguins walked the Abs.
Well, what I remember most was the mess. Now, there were some that thought the penguins was cute. That is until they lived up here and had to clean up all the poop.
Oh, I do miss 'em. I remember when I was just a little shaver. You'd fall asleep to the sounds of 'em making that weird call they do. It was kind of scary. And kind of romantic, too, when you think about it.
Frontline will talk to the people who want to bring the penguins back to Salt Lake and to those who oppose it.
The penguins were here as a natural part of the environment. The delicate ecosystem of the Avenues district, and of Capitol Hill for that matter, will remain out of balance until the penguins are brought back.
Well, most of us in law enforcement in Salt Lake are against reintroducing the penguin into the city. I mean, we've got our hands full already, what with the gangs and such. Besides, a pack of them little bastards killed my grandfather's brother years ago. You know, they say that penguins are shy and won't approach humans, but I know different.
Will the penguins return to Salt Lake City? It's an in-depth look at the entire issue tonight on Frontline.
Utah's most trusted newsman, Bill Allred, on X96.
Who's that playing the mom in there, the woman?
It's Cam's sister, yeah.
Who is that?
I don't know who it is.
It's not nobody notable, just
nobody I've heard of.
Interesting voice.
She's funny. Let's see, 9:20 right now. We got Boner Fight coming up in a few moments, but first, somewhat news. A little bit of
somewhat.
You know, it's
so
not
some somewhat.
It's
news.
not a. It's it's not a little bit of news, but it's certainly not a healthy dose.
It's a soupçon.
Sure.
News.
All right.
Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
It's a new song.
I'm not sure I'm using that right. Soupçon.
I don't know.
It's a friend. I'm not.
It's
somebody. I don't care. Anybody?
I'm trying not to say 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
How can Carrie 5 minutes?
It's a 1/50th of a hour. No, and math isn't my strong suit either. So anyway, Utah cops. Right now, we have no-knock warrants. Okay, Utah cops can get a no-knock warrant. That is, you go to a place, you don't have to say you have a warrant. You can just bust in. Mm-hmm. So there is a proposition which says Utah police officers should probably have to answer a few more questions about what they're doing before they get these no-knock warrants. Right now, there are those who say it's too easy.
A little too easy to get them.
A little too easy. Like the warrants they're getting now, they should at least have to ring the doorbell.
Okay.
So the cops are, of course, arguing, no, we only ask for these when it's absolutely necessary to do forcible entry. But the American Civil Liberties Union, of course, and the Libertas Institute and Utah lawmakers are placing some new restrictions. I guess they're going to go ahead and do it on when cops can bust down doors in Utah, and even more limitations could come during the next session of the legislature, which starts up here in a day or two. Yeah, I know. So
Carrie got the legislature shivers.
So just be aware of that. You no good doers out there, you evil doers. You might be able to get away with a little more because the cops are.
You might be able to flush the drugs down the toilet before you.
Yeah, hide everything. Destroy, erase your hard drives quickly. Let's see now. Oh, and the up there in the Capitol in Washington, D.C., there might be a government shutdown.
If they don't, it's looking more like it because they have till Friday, I think.
I don't understand. The Republicans control the House and the Senate. How could that be?
A solution in Congress that might end brinksmanship over immigration and federal spending ahead of a Friday night government funding deadline hinges on politics and trust, both of which are in short supply.
Yes.
A veteran budget expert sees a perfect political storm midweek as lawmakers rush to avoid a government shutdown. AM View, a news source, talking with bipartisan policy center Bill Hoagland about Congress's dilemma and how lawmakers painted themselves into a corner. That they set up these, well, if this doesn't happen, then there's going to be a government shut. They're idiots.
Yep.
They do that.
They're willing. The Republicans are willing to shut down the government over letting brown people into the country.
Or letting brown people stay here that were brought here as children.
Yes. All right, you two liberal white people. The Republicans would say the Democrats have refused to come to the table on immigration.
That's not true.
The Democrats have they
wanted to talk about immigration.
They walk out they say if we can't get DACA, we're not going to talk about immigration. Yeah. We're not going to talk about it.
And you guys were willing to do DACA a couple of days ago.
That was 2 days ago.
Until the president let it fly about Haiti.
I listen, both sides when it comes to this, they're just nonsensical. They are both nonsensical.
How is both sides? I know how the Republicans are, but how?
It is true. If the Democrats hold that line and say, well, no DACA, no, then
I think that's a reasonable line to hold, kicking people out of the country that they grew up in. That's reasonable.
It is not a reasonable demand to put on whether you're going to shut down the government.
Sure it is.
No, it isn't.
It's the only way you get
not now.
Done. If you don't, then what's their incentive to ever come?
Exactly.
To the
you let them
table
have
and
it this time, and they'll just not do it.
They say, what you say is, all right, what's your proposal? But they don't do that. They just say, no DACA, we're not talking about it.
Because they know their proposal is they don't want to do it.
That's where the mistake comes. We still insist that we're going to have to come up with a reasonable accommodation for people who are in this country. We have to do that. So let's talk some more about what you think. But they don't say that. They say, we're going to have to come up with or we're not going to talk about it.
No, well, that's what's happened with CHIP, though.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened. They've let that just go,
Again?
and there's no incentive to bring it back to the table.
Again, no, but because they won't talk about it.
I'm sick of this both sides argument, all right?
I'm not.
Because it's not. It's very clear where the Republicans stand.
Yes, it is.
So we don't need to talk to them. We know what they're up to.
But those honorable Democrats, they never make a mistake.
I'm not saying
they
that.
do.
I'm not saying that.
Of
I
course
never
they
said
do.
that.
Of
I never
course
said
they
that. I know they do, but I never said that.
And they're making a mistake on this.
They got to do something.
So then what?
If they do nothing, all of those people get kicked out of the country.
So then what you're saying is the Democrats are just as responsible if there is a government shutdown.
The Republicans control the House and the Senate.
Have you guys seen they're doing a documentary on Mr. Rogers?
They can put a
Mr. Rogers.
They can put a stop to it.
Everybody loves Mr. Rogers.
I saw that. It's called Feeling Good in the Neighborhood or something like that.
No,
and,
that's
yeah,
the Applebee's documentary.
It's the
Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Oh, Won't You Be My Neighbor? That's it. And I sort
it's
of
at Sundance.
Yeah, I know. And I sort of read a little bit about it, and I'll reserve judgment. I will reserve judgment. Well, I was never a Mr. Rogers fan.
Well, no, that's not. It's
because I didn't.
It's a generational
I
thing.
didn't grow up with him.
It's not a how dare you. It's a generational thing.
I mean, I think he seemed like a very nice man and a very kind and gentle man.
I can't say anything bad about Mr. Rogers.
I'm not. But listen, if we can't come to an agreement on this Mr. Rogers thing, I'm shutting down the show. We'll shut it down.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
We haven't had a good political fight on the show for a long time because we just, I was just trying to play the devil's advocate a little bit here.
Well, sometimes that's not necessary. Because sometimes there's right and wrong.
I agree, but I made you mad, didn't I?
No.
You looked mad.
No.
You
I
weren't
don't.
mad?
I don't get mad.
You
I
weren't
may
angry?
seem mad, but I'm not. No.
It's such a good feeling.
I understand
to know
that.
you're
People say to me all the
alive.
time,
You're
"What are you
such
mad
a
about?" And I say,
happy
"I'm not mad. I'm
feeling
just yelling."
growing inside.
All right, it's Boner Fight, round 1, going against round 2. Was that a Macy Gray song? What was that?
It's a Mr. Rogers song.
Oh, just hard to tell when you're singing what the song is. So the winner of round 1 was What Color Are Norwegians? She is the Secretary of Homeland Security, put in there by Donald Trump's administration. She has a Norwegian, a Nordic-sounding name, Kirsten Nielsen.
With a silent J.
Yes. But when asked, Ms. Nielsen, what color aren't Norwegians predominantly white?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know about that. I'd be hard pressed to say for sure. And Boner candidate number 2 was Who Will Perform the Wedding? Satan. It's the printing company sent a gay couple Satan pamphlets instead of the wedding programs that they had contracted for. So those are the 2 candidates. Get to voting.
There you go. You got to decide, 1 or 2. Which one is Boner of the Day? Which one do you think should be Boner of the Day? 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number. Put that candidate number in the message of a text and text that to 33986. You can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or you can go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight January 17 and vote there. If the box is not visible, refresh. It should appear. All right. You got less than 300 seconds. Let's go. It's Boner of the Day.
Want music? Listen at 10 for a 1-hour non-stop music wingding on X96. Well,
to award Boner of the Day.
And Boner of the Day is brought to you in part by a delicious glass of Radio from Hell, Red as Hell Ale.
And looking for a great deal on a used smartphone but don't want to meet a creepy guy in a parking lot? Bad Apple repairs, buys, sells, and trades smartphones. Unlike the guy in the parking lot, Bad Apple guarantees them 10 locations, badapplerepair.com.
So, Boner candidate number 1 was, so what color are Norwegians? The Secretary of Homeland Security.
Director.
And she did not know what she was asked in a Senate hearing. Aren't Norwegians predominantly white?
Well,
and she said, "I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Couldn't say that for sure." Her name is Kirsten. And
Nielsen.
Nielsen. And then there was Boner candidate number 2. Who's going to perform that ceremony? Will it be Satan? A couple of guys, in same-sex marriage, they contracted with a printer to print their wedding programs, and what they got instead of programs was literature damning them to hell, essentially, for having a gay marriage. Let's see, we had David win some tickets to our brunch at Squatters on Sunday, which is sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner, Boner candidate number 2, who's going to perform the ceremony, Satan.
All right, that is Boner of the Day for Wednesday. It now has a chance to be Boner of the Week. That happens on Friday, right about this time.
So John Lee has joined us here in the studio, head brewmaster for Squatters and Wasatch, and the Red as Hell Ale on tap.
Yes, this coming Sunday, so you guys are in for a real treat. Those of you come to the party.
I really liked that beer, and I'm looking forward to trying it again. And I guess people will get a commemorative glass too.
Now it's sold out, but we are recording a podcast there, so
you can't taste the beer on the podcast.
You can't, but you'll hear us talking about how wonderful it is.
Yeah, and you'll just listen to it and envy the fact that that we're there and you're not.
Now the things you can be involved in that are not that. I was just saying how excited I was that the Fifth Element was coming back. That's one of my very favorites.
John, what kind of a beer is Fifth Element?
So Fifth Element would fall into the kind of a saison, soured saison farmhouse. It's really kind of a very loose interpretation of a couple different styles, but the underlying piece is it's a soured beer with kind of like that wild fermentation.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. They're kind of very bright and acidic.
It tastes like champagne to me.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The folks that are wine drinkers that say I don't like beer always love Fifth Element.
Wait a minute. Well, I thought wasn't it Miller? This is the champagne of bottled beer.
Was it Miller? Yeah, they claim it.
Miller High Life, the champagne of bottled beer.
If you like champagne,
dwarfs them.
Yeah,
exactly. If you like champagne and wine, and if you're not a beer person, try the Fifth Element. You'll like it.
And that goes on sale Saturday, so that's a limited release. That's one of those. That's one of those things. It's actually just at the Squatters Brew Pub.
Oh, really?
So it's
on tap.
It's a bottle only.
Oh,
and so it's first come first serve. Goes on sale this Saturday the 20th.
The beer store.
Actually, at Squatters Brew
at
Pub
Squatters
here on
Beer.
3rd South and
Oh, right.
147 West.
Okay. And then what? And then you said there were more in the Element series.
Yeah. So what we're doing? So we've actually done we've taken that same base of the Fifth Element that has that kind of bright acidity, and we've applied it to another beer that we made up in Park City. And so it's a 4% beer that we can serve on draft, and so we're looking at launching that one as an elemental series.
Oh.
And so with that one, as we come off on that draft beer, is the base beer kind of change from batch to batch to batch, but the underlying thing is it's going to have that kind of sour, lightly acidic note.
So you might like that too, Gina.
Mm-hmm. I'll try it.
And then there's the you're doing a porter which has bourbon in the title. What's that?
So this is it's our 6% ABV polygamy porter, and what we did is we took it and came off filtration, put it into Buffalo Trace barrels where it sat for 10 months.
Whiskey barrels.
Whiskey barrel, Buffalo Trace whiskey. Yeah, solid whiskey. And it rested for 10 months. We pulled it out, and at the end of that, you got a 9.5% ABV bourbon barrel aged whiskey porter.
Wow!
And it's very good. It's one of these. It's kind of a dangerous thing because the nitro porter, that polygamy porter, is very drinkable.
Yeah.
By itself, and that same easy drinking, easy approach is there with this particular beer, but you've got that whiskey aspect to it, and that 9.5%, it sneaks up on you, conks you on the head.
And where can people get that?
We've got that at the beer store. They're on 1763 South, 300 West.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple of just general philosophical questions about beer and brewing. So I know that Squatters Wasatch, you guys are doing more and more stuff in cans.
We are.
Cans as opposed to bottles. Where do you come down on that, and how do you feel about that?
So the approach that we're taking on that is that the cans, and we've always taken that the approach that we're looking at community minded, looking for stuff for the environment. And
yeah, that's really true.
And so when you're looking at cans versus bottles they're very heavy to transport, so they take a lot of fuel, both coming in. So your empty glass coming in,
right,
plus your shipping case going out. You've got a lot of fuel to move them.
That's right.
You can load fewer cases on a truck, where you can with bottles. You can add more when your can cases. The aluminum is infinitely recyclable. You're going to capture about 99% plus.
Glass not very recyclable.
Glass not,
and you can get them colder. I feel like cans get colder.
They do get
bottles.
colder faster. They're more convenient for you if you're like say you're going picnicking or camping or whatever. It's much better to take cans.
And from a quality aspect too, the cans are 100% airtight. You're going to see no oxygen coming into them to ruin your beer. You're also going to see no CO2 leaving. So the beer that you're going to taste in our cans is going to be exactly as we intended it. You're not going to see any change. The bottles, as good as the bottles are, and the seals on top, there's still just a little bit of, you get a little micro aeration coming through those lids.
Don't be one of those snobs that I only drink beer out of a bottle.
No, it's just, and we blind taste these. We do these things side by side. We've got hop rising in a bottle. We got hop rising in the can. We blind taste these side by side, and there is no difference.
Quickly, what's going to happen, do you think? 3-2 beer, just in general, that's going to probably go away, isn't it?
There's a lot of attention on that right now, and with everything that happened in the legislative session last season, and the attention that's on it this year, I would be surprised really if they do much on alcohol this year because of how much they did last year.
That's true.
But we always get surprised by this year after year. We never know what's going to come. So
it's something that needs to be addressed soon.
We're ready for it though.
All right. Thank you very much.
John Lee, head brewmaster, Wasatch and Squatters. Will you be around Sunday?
I will try my best to be there. Yes.
All right. See you there.
Right. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Let's see. Now we got to take a break here, but Mattress Firm. Got to remind you about Mattress Firm.
Their January sale, their New Year sale going on right now at Mattress Firm.
You probably haven't bought a new mattress in a long time. It's one of those purchases that you put off and put off. Don't put it off any longer.
There's no excuse either. There's a lot of Mattress Firm stores around the place. You can find them at mattressfirm.com. Take advantage of some of the New Year's savings, and they have a wide variety of prices and brands. For instance, you can get a Beauty Rest Queen mattress for just $3.99, or a Hampton and Rhodes Queen mattress for $199.99. Now, if you want to get something a little pricier, please do. And if you get a mattress for $7.99 or more, whatever brand it is, they will throw in a free Fitbit with any mattress of $7.99 or more at Mattress Firm.
As you guys know, my goal is to be able to do this show from my home.
Mm-hmm.
I hope one day to be able to be doing a Mattress Firm commercial from my home in my Mattress Firm mattress.
So, Mattress Firm stores, got a lot of brands, a lot of great prices. It's a New Year's sale. Go to mattressfirm.com for more.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
That's desperate.
Hello, X96. Oh, hello, Bert. Bert, calm down, okay? Look, hang on a sec, okay? We'll talk to you on the speakerphone. Hang on just a second. Bill, it's Bert.
Oh, man. Bert, again? That's the third time this week.
Come on now. The guy's going through some real tough stuff right now. We may be the only friends he has left.
Well, why can't he call and cry to Dom?
Dom DeLuise has deserted him, too. I mean, look, let's talk to him. I mean, he's really hurting.
Oh, all right. Put him on the speakerphone.
Okay.
Hi, Bert. It's Carrie and Bill.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Bet you're real excited about that Cop and a Half movie finally coming out, Bert.
Bill, Cop and a Half has been out for a year, and it was a stiff. Bert, I saw that movie. It was great. I bought my own copy. You were great. That kid sucked.
Yeah, sorry, Bert.
Thank you.
Well, hey, how's Lonnie doing?
Bill, Lonnie dumped him some time ago. Don't listen to him. She's a lying bitch, Bert. You're better off without her. And she looks like hell. Yeah, she looks like a mortician does her makeup.
Yeah, she looks awful, Bert. Not like you. You look great these days.
Yeah.
Saw you on Evening Shade the other night, Bert. Hey, you doing something different to your hair?
Jesus, hair fell out years ago. Nobody can tell, Bert. It looks great, very natural.
Oh, yeah, it's very nice. You must be paying big money for those rugs.
Oh, listen, Bert, I'm real sorry. I mean, you call us up so that we can cheer you up, and, well, I just don't think we're doing a very good job.
No.
Bert, is there another old friend that you can call?
I know, Bert. You ought to call Dinah. What's Dinah Shore doing?
Way to go, Einstein. Dinah Shore has been dead for months.
Oh. Well, how about we have him call Sally Field? Is she still alive?
You idiot.
It's 96.
All right, 9:51.
So I've been thinking about getting an electric bicycle, and for a couple of reasons, but the main one is, I've had some back problems and I foot problems and things like that, and I can ride my bike, but it's a lot harder to do than it used to be. I don't have it's just harder. And so I thought, I wonder what electric bikes are like. And so I started looking into them, and there are a lot of them. Now, I had a friend who had one years ago, and he said, I said, well, you must get a lot of exercise because you rode it to work every day up to the. And he said, no, I don't. I just sit on it. And it just goes.
Don't you have to pedal it a little bit?
You don't have to. But they've come a long way since he had one, and now they have these pedal assist bikes. And I was looking at all these companies that are in different parts of the country, and there's a company here in Salt Lake that is the like the headquarters for these bikes. They're called Magnum Electric Bikes, and they have a showroom down on State Street, 6 South and State. Magnum Electric Bikes. And I thought, well, okay, I did a lot of reading about them, and I've corresponded with a couple of people online that are friends of the program who've researched them and know about them. And they, one guy said, you know, the Magnum electric bikes seem to be really good. You ought to, and they're here in town, so you ought to go check them out. And I did yesterday. And I go into the showroom, and they just have like, it's a really small little showroom. They have like 8 or 10 different bikes in there, different models of electric bikes. And so I start talking to the sales guy's name. He has an interesting name. His name is a young guy named Callaway Johnson. Callaway. And he's from Atlanta, but he ended up here in Utah, and he's their salesman. I've come to find out, so they have, it's kind of like the headquarters of Magnum Electric Bikes. There are 3 owners, 2 of whom live in Israel, and then 1 owner who lives here in Salt Lake, and they sell them worldwide. And so I'm talking to him about them and this and that and what, you know, and I'm thinking, well, I don't know. And then he said, well, you want to ride one? And while I was talking to him, by the way, a woman came from the back, and she went, are you Bill Allred? I thought I was dreaming. I heard your voice out here. And I go, why am I hearing his voice? So big fan of the program, Lindsay. I want to ride my bicycle. So I shouldn't have even, I told him when I got back from test driving, I rode 2 of them. And I got back, and after the first one, I said, you know, all that talking we were doing, you don't need to do that. Just tell people, get on it. Try it. They're incredible. They are so cool.
How fast do they go?
Top speed, if you just push on there's a throttle. And by the way, the battery for the electric bike, it's detachable, and you take it in the house to just charge it up in your house on it with a regular electricity. It's, if you just use the throttle, no pedaling, I think he said 28 miles an hour.
That's not bad.
That's pretty fast on a bicycle.
Yeah.
But what happens, you get on it, and I didn't touch the throttle, I started to pedal. And the minute you start to pedal, the electric motor kicks in. And so it gives you this little push. It's just the most amazing feeling. And I started riding all around downtown on this thing, and man, is it fun.
Are you going to get one?
I think I might. And you can get, you know, I was worried that you just wouldn't get any exercise. Like my friend said, no, I just sit on it. And you could do that. But you can also, they're also like gears, and you can pedal them as well. And you can pedal, and then if you feel like you need a little extra push, you just hit the throttle, and it gives you a little bump. And there are different kind of levels of pedaling. I won't go into all the details. But man, it was fun, and I think there would be nothing better. Because, you know, I used to like to ride my bike to the grocery store and get groceries and put them in a backpack or on some bags on the bike and go home. But it's harder for me to do now because of the back surgery and stuff. This is perfect for doing that kind of thing. Commuting to work.
My husband loves his, and he'd better because it costs $3,000.
Yeah, the ones I
was. But a good bike costs. Regular bike.
Yeah, a really good bike.
Much.
I have 2 bicycles in my garage. Well, one of which was like $5,000.
Well, but you won't ever ride those anymore.
Yeah, that one I will, because I still love it and I like that bike. But these are the top price for the one I was riding was $2,000. And the thing about Magnum too is, if you have any problems with it, they have a repair shop here. You don't. If you buy it from someplace else you're going to have to ship it out and have them fix it. Or you said, you know, so we have our repair shop right here. And it was. I would just if you're interested in them at all, get on one, and you'll probably go, yep, I got to have this. It's so fun, and it's just the coolest feeling when you start to pedal and you feel something else kind of helping you pedal.
It's like Jesus.
Almost, it's like Jesus riding your bicycle.
Jesus
With
is my
you.
bicycle.
Jesus is on my. He's my bicycle co-pilot. That's what's going on here. But man, they're very nice down there at Magnum Bicycles and they're not advertisers or anything like that, but.
Not yet. They will be now.
I think they should be. I asked them. So I said, "So who buys these?" And they said, "Mostly older people buy them, retirees and things. People." And I said, "Well, your advertising here in the store doesn't indicate that because it's all these young, good-looking people." And he said, "Well, we're trying to hit that market."
Well, they need to be going after the lazy environmentalist is what they need.
Exactly.
Someone who wants to help with the air, but doesn't
sounds
want
like a movie.
Pedal.
The Lazy Environment. Oh, it's a novel.
Yes.
By Brady, Brady Benson or Udall. But you should try it out. If you don't go there, try one out somewhere. You'll love it. They're great.
All right. Let's see. Let's do the promo.
On Thursday's Radio from Hell show.
At 6:45, it's Geek News on the radio.
7 a.m., it's Beat Gina, Pink Floyd trivia.
Ooh.
And you could win tickets to our sold-out Squatters Brunch on Sunday.
At 7:45, Sean Means reviews movies, including 12 Strong and a Sundance preview.
And then at 9, we'll give you another keyword for your Gulf Shores giveaway.
That's all on Thursday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
All right.
You should try it, Carrie. I know you don't like biking very much.
I don't.
You would get on that and go, hey, I could ride. And even living in a hilly, like where you live, there are hills, you easily ride down to the market, down there at Dan's and back up the hill with no problem. Environmentally sound.
We'll see.
You should try it.
We'll see.
He won't.
Will you try it?
When
If
you get yours, I'll try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it'll be video content.
Yes, it will.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Lord of Moses?
Lord of Moses!
John Smith is next.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.